most easily offended and censorious people are usually those with the closest proximity to power. There's an inverse correlation between how outraged you are by speech you disagree with and how likely that speech is to actually hurt you. And I don't mean like individually powerful people here, I mean hegemonically powerful people, people in the dominant group, white people, men, straight people, that kind of thing. The powerful and privileged are the least likely to being challenged, to being upset, and the least likely to experience consequences for any overreaction we might have. Basically, we can say whatever and nobody ever jumps up our entire asshole about it. Like, say, if women said they felt more comfortable around bears than dudes, people might absolutely lose their minds about that, but I can say whatever dumb shit I want. Once you notice this, you start to see it everywhere. The people with no real reason to be upset being the loudest and most upsettest about nothing, shouting directly over minority groups how ball-bustingly irate they are about grievances that would be trivial even if they hadn't been imagined.
Fucking pronouns!
But there's one group of people who right now are really changing the game in terms of phony, weaponized outrage directed at people who they themselves are hurting. I'm of course referring to the humble Zionist. Please observe the exact phenomenon I am describing distilled into its purest essence. If you expect me to argue that Israel's actions in Gaza and Palestine generally constitute a genocide, or that Israel is an ethno-nationalist project whose existence is premised on the extermination of the indigenous population, I'm not going to do that. That's merely the truth. I'm not particularly interested in humoring the people who continue to pretend otherwise. This video isn't meant to convince anyone to support the Palestinian cause because, you know, if you're not already supporting that, you're not reachable. If watching thousands of people be brutally murdered didn't move you, what the fuck am I going to say to convince you to become a human being? For the record, if you're looking for a video like that, there's some in the description below from creators who are more suited to it and have more patience than I. No, I have a much more modest purpose in mind for this video, one which I believe I'm far better equipped to handle. I just want to point and laugh at the way that Zionists portray themselves as the victims of their own oppressive behavior. That is what we will be discussing today. They deserve to be mocked, to at all times have the humiliating cowardice at the center of their worldview exposed for all to see, and importantly, for everyone to laugh at. You know, it's a difficult time to be a Zionist. Support for a genocide can be bad for your personal brand. It is therefore in the interest of a Zionist to portray any and all criticism of their positions, or Israel's actions in general, in the most hyperbolic terms they can possibly imagine. World-ending stakes, complete fantasy bullshit. If they exaggerate enough, hopefully, you won't think about their positions, or why they might hold them, or who they might kill as a result. Naturally, the easiest way to do that is to smear all criticism of Israel and anything the Israeli government does as inherently anti-Semitic. That's always been the #1 play in the Zionist handbook. To basically press Control F, and everywhere someone uses the word Israel, replace that with the Jews, and just pretend their critics said that instead. Wouldn't that be fucked up if they said that? Perhaps some of you are at this moment concern trolling as we speak, furiously typing away in the comments about how dare I, a non-Jewish person, dare to say what is and is not anti-Semitic. And ordinarily, I'd agree. But you know, the specific accusation of anti-Semitism being thrown at Palestinians simply for being alive people who would like to be alive in their homes is really not worth taking seriously. It has no merit and belittles the threat of genuine anti-Semitism, but more importantly, is itself a racist myth used to justify mass murder. And I know you little Zionist freaks, you're out there, and you're right now posting a bunch of different times that you saw a Palestinian person or someone who supports Palestinian people doing something anti-Semitic. And like, yeah, no shit, dog, anti-Semitism exists everywhere. If you see someone of a particular ethnic group do something anti-Semitic, I don't think that means you get to wipe that ethnic group off the map. So go ahead and shut the entire fuck up. Maybe it's not my place to say, but like, doesn't seem like they listen when Holocaust survivors say it, so whose place is it exactly? Kind of feels like they just don't want people to say it. And it should go without saying, but won't go without saying, so I will have to say it, that so long as there's been Zionism, there's also existed Jewish resistance to Zionism. Jewish people are not and have never been our enemy in this fight. On the contrary, they are and have always been and will continue to be some of our most outspoken allies. No people are a monolith, and no people deserve to be treated as a monolith. That's one of the reasons why, for example, it's a war crime to commit collective punishment according to the Geneva Convention. Something to think about. But you can see already how we're made to jump through these hoops to even express support for Palestinians. Zionists position the conflict between Israel and Palestine as uniquely complicated, uniquely divisive, and therefore something we must be uniquely sensitive about. But of course, only sensitive to their feelings. Forget the material realities or the fucking well-being of Palestinians or Arabs. No, they gotta be portrayed as monstrous terrorists without any legitimate grievances who just kill because of their fucked up monster brains before a Zionist will even come to the table. To do otherwise, to think that this racial group is anything but a bunch of backwards monster people in the minds of the Zionist is the racist position, actually. It's racist not to hate this particular race. And this strategy has usually worked out in the past because the countries with all of the money and power and all of the corporations who those countries work for are generally on board with whatever Israel wants to do. That's why they put Israel there in the first place. To do that, those national and corporate interests have the influence and money to make themselves heard, while some dispossessed Palestinian grandmother isn't likely to get to plead her case on CNN. And if she does manage it by some miracle, you can always just yell, "Do you condemn Hamas?" at her until she goes away. Also, you know, just like the general Islamophobia of the West, that's also helpful for them. You know, it's easier to dehumanize a group of people who a lot of people are already super racist against. So they have that going for them. Yippee! Of course, the math changes somewhat when our social media feeds are all flooded with a constant barrage of evidence of Israeli war crimes carried out by Israeli forces, Israelfully. Evidence they can no longer suppress and are desperate to convince us to just ignore because they can't square it with anything they claim to believe.
Some wonder why there was such overwhelming support for us to shut down potentially TikTok or other entities of that nature. If you look at the postings on TikTok and the number of mentions of Palestinians relative to other social media sites, it's overwhelmingly so among TikTok broadcast.
Oh my God!
Fair enough, it is difficult to form a coherent counter-argument to thousands of dead children. Like, that's going to be more convincing. So instead of even trying to come up with a justification or, like, you know, not murdering all of the children, they've kind of just settled on getting very mad, and because they're mad, that means that you hurt them because they're mad. Actually, it hurt my feelings when you said that the use of white phosphorus is a war crime. That made me feel unsafe. That's actually anti-Semitic that you said that, and so I think the government should make it illegal for people to say that. In response, there is a tendency for those of us on the side of human life to couch our words, to be proactively conciliatory and defensive in the hopes that nothing we say can be made to sound anti-Semitic or scary or kind of rude. But boy, what a waste of time and energy that is, because they're more than happy to twist themselves into knots to imply anything you say, no matter how benign, displays the secret anti-Semitism you're doing just out of sight. It's very frustrating to see the same people who've spent the last decade stringently arguing with us every step of the way that we're all simply too sensitive and imagining the rising anti-Semitism among the mainstream right, now crying crocodile tears about how scared they are about the alleged anti-Semitism of Holocaust survivors and Jewish student groups. The real threats to Jewish people, to be sure. Sometimes, quite literally, the exact same people who were urging us to befriend literal exterminationist neo-Nazis now claiming with a straight face that we are making room for anti-Semitism by expressing a distaste for genocide.
This is how you get more chaos on campus, more anti-Semitism on campus, because you've given them cover. You've given them reason to continue this extremism. And a lot of the extremism is anti-Semitism, and they're using it as an excuse in order to promote their anti-Semitism.
Like, they'll get so up in arms about the phrase "from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free," about how that's a threat. And it supposedly means that Palestinians are going to wipe out all of the Jews in Israel, which I would argue is actually not necessary in order for people to be free. One will note that when Palestine was free, they, didn't do that. They are not motivated by an ancient desire to wipe out the Jews, as certain presidents would have you believe. Okay, yeah, when Biden said that, he was talking about Hamas, but as Zionists are keen to remind us, they don't really draw a distinction between Hamas and Palestinians writ large.
You don't realize that college campuses erupted with the kids demonstrating for Hamas? They are in with the terrorists.
They were for the Palestinians.
Well, it's sort of the same cause. This is why this is not yours.
Make some hard-nosed decisions.
This is my
Not your thing.
One must ask, if you believe that someone else wanting freedom necessitates them killing you and everyone like you, what does that mean about what you're doing? I don't think there is some zero-sum balance where either Palestinians are free or Jews are alive. I think it can be both. And if you think it can't, the question arises, why not? Seems like a pretty easy balance to strike, actually. But of course, when any Israeli official says they're going to hold the same territory.
The future, the state of Israel have to control on the entire area from the river to the sea.
And also, Israel starts actually wiping out the population to get it. Here in the non-hypothetical real world, somehow that is them defending themselves, saying we would like to be free. That's a threat. Killing you? That's self-defense. Well, they have a right to defend themselves from all of the NICU babies and journalists that threaten their national security. They have a right to exist. And if in order to exercise that right, they have to prevent other people from existing, you can admit, the part that they claim is the part they don't like, right? About from the river to the sea, that's the part that is supposed to be so threatening. But if you just say free Palestine, they'll still say that's a threat against them. How dare you demand freedom? Your freedom puts me in jeopardy somehow. And I think we can all agree that my safety is more important than your freedom. And when they can't even find this flimsy a pretext to twist your words, they'll just all agree to pretend you said something you didn't. Just completely replace whatever it is you said with a different thing. Last November, the actor Melissa Barrero was fired from the upcoming film Scream 7 after making some remarks on her personal Instagram page about the conflict. When questioned about her firing, Spyglass Pictures claimed that her statements contained the anti-Semitic trope of Jews controlling the media, which I think we can agree is quite a serious accusation. Let us now investigate this claim. What I'll do first is read the words that she wrote and see if those words, or similar words, are contained within. Here's what she posted. I have been actively looking for videos and information about the Palestinian side for the last 2 weeks or so, following accounts, etc. Why? Because Western media only shows the other side. Why they do that, I will let you deduce for yourself. Usually, the algorithm on social media gets the gist. Well, my Discover page on IG will only show me videos showing and talking about the Israeli side. Censorship is very real. Well, let me just crunch the numbers here, carry the 5, and hey, look at that, the results are in. The post does not say anything of the sort. Aren't you just so shocked and surprised? Being as charitable as I can, giving Spyglass the biggest possible benefit of the doubt, I can see how one might read that message into what she is saying. There's certainly nothing in her post which is incompatible with that reading, I suppose. If one is inclined to be an anti-Semite, the phrase, why they do that, I will let you deduce for yourself, could certainly be read as tacit support for all of their hateful conspiracy bullshit. They might see that as a little dog whistle for them, yum yum, little treat for the anti-Semites out there. The main quality of conspiracy theorists, anti-Semitic or otherwise, is seeing patterns in things which don't actually exist. They're pretty primed to do that, actually. If they see a triangle somewhere, that reads to them as a secret message about who runs the government. Could she have been more careful to make that distinction clear? Sure, I guess. But that doesn't mean she said that thing. When one doesn't deliberately read a hateful message into what she said, she is indisputably correct. Western media does ignore the Palestinian side of the conflict. My country's national broadcaster, among many other mainstream news outlets, has an unofficial policy of not even using the word Palestine outside of a direct quote. And you really can't ignore Palestinians harder than that. None of this is a conspiracy theory. They'll happily tell you. When CBC did use the word Palestine outside of this context, they sent out a fucking apology. None of this requires that Jews control the media, because, here's your first clue. It's true here on Earth, where they don't. The Belgians do. Or when Greta Thunberg was holding a little stuffed octopus when she criticized Israel's war crimes. We shouldn't be talking or thinking about the things she's saying. Let's all stay focused on how that's definitely a coded message meant to remind us of a political cartoon the Nazis made that very few people today would be familiar with. This one looks just like that. Look at it. Look at his short little stubby tentacles, which seem almost specifically designed to avoid being wrapped around things, thus rendering the visual metaphor she is definitely for real alluding to completely inert. There's simply no other explanation explanation for someone to have a toy around. It's not as though this specific toy has a particular symbolism already associated with it that she was likely alluding to, or that it's just like a popular little toy. We all agreed a long time ago that octopuses are basically the swastikas of the sea. Can't have those on display because of the symbolism that we're all very familiar with about how octopuses are anti-Semitic. Case closed, I think, on that one. A few months ago, there was a protest here in Toronto where people marched from the Israeli consulate down a major road to protest Israel's invasion of Rafah. Along their route, there was a hospital called Mount Sinai. Relevant context for you lucky non-Torontonians out there. Mount Sinai was originally established so that Toronto's Jewish population would have a safe place to get medical treatment without being subject to anti-Semitism in the 1920s. Now at times, it's just a regular hospital where anyone, Jew or Gentile alike, can go to get hospital stuff done, like to get your fingers and toes swabbed. So protesters were walking past this hospital, and two people climbed onto an awning and waved a Palestinian flag. And as we move forward, I want you to keep in mind that what I just described is the whole controversy. A different thing didn't happen, and that will be important context because this event has been portrayed by many people as an attempt to intimidate Jewish people, an anti-Semitic hate crime even. Justin Trudeau, the president and CEO of Canada, noted racism expert, had this to say: the demonstration at Mount Sinai Hospital yesterday was reprehensible. Hospitals are places for treatment and care, not protests and intimidation. I strongly condemn this display of anti-Semitism in Toronto and across Canada. We stand with Jewish communities against this hate. And just apropos of nothing, here's a little photo of Justin Trudeau applauding a volunteer for the Waffen-SS a few months prior. Thank God he's here to stand up to anti-Semitism. Rest easy, Canadian Jews. Justin Trudeau's on the case. Doug Ford, the impressively wide Premier of Ontario, had this to say:
You want to protest? Go down to City Hall, come down to Queen's Park, jump up and down, do whatever you want, but don't prohibit people going to a hospital when they're in there saving people's lives, because you never know. You might be the next person in that hospital and they'll be trying to save your life.
When I see Doug Ford, I hear his voice as Don Cherry's voice, and that's as close as I can get to an impression of Don Cherry. But I do like that he just imagined a different thing happened. Now the protesters were prohibiting people from going into the hospital because they walked past it, you see. What if someone was having a heart attack and they saw that, and because the people were walking around, they were too scared to go to the hospital? I mean, it didn't happen, but what if it did? That wouldn't look so good. Makes you think. Once again, trying to be as charitable as I possibly can. I don't think people should be climbing on hospital awnings. I think that's a bad thing to do. Generally, you could fall down and hurt yourself. You could cause some damage to hospital property, conceivably. I will go so far as to say that that rises to the level of mischief, bordering even on nuisance. If I had been there, I think I would have delivered a stern finger wagging and said tisk tisk quite sharply. What I don't think is appropriate is to claim that this was meant as some sort of threat or intimidation tactic, because I don't think it was. If you look closely, one of the guys who's climbing around is dressed in a Spider-Man costume, and doing that, to me, makes it pretty difficult to be frightened. Spider-Man is not a figure of terror, despite what you might have read in the Daily Bugle. Spider-Man is more a figure of children's lunchboxes. And it also goes part of the way towards explaining why someone might be overzealous about climbing stuff, because you kind of want to climb stuff if you're dressed as Spider-Man, the famous climbing guy. But of course, we must respect the sanctity of hospitals. Let's keep politics out of hospitals, and to interfere with the day-to-day functioning of a hospital, even by simply walking past one, why, that's reprehensible, beyond the pale. Only a monster would do that. And I'm trying to keep this video pretty light, and I certainly don't want to assume an incandescent rage that doesn't belong to me, but it is difficult to overstate the evil on display here. For these men to grandstand about the sanctity of hospitals in order to slander these protesters and portray them as racist demagogues while the nation whose actions they are protesting has bombed. Really can't stress this hard enough. Every single hospital in Gaza, most if not all, being reduced to rubble, and also withheld medical aid so that surgeons are forced to operate without anesthetic, and also we've discovered mass graves outside of hospitals where patients and doctors have been executed. Anything to say about that, Mr. Prime Minister? No? Too mad about people protesting it? Cool, good. There needs to be a word that goes beyond coward, because I think, unlike the hero-coward spectrum, Justin Trudeau represents a sort of ultra-cowardly ray that is not visible to the human eye. The real crime here is that somebody might have felt intimidated when they saw Spider-Man wave a flag at them. That disrupts the hospital's operation. on like a cruise missile. How does one go about satirizing this? Like, how do you even start? Usually what you'd want to do is you'd want to like exaggerate for comedic effect, and I genuinely don't know how to make this eviler. None of it has to make any sense. There's no way to discuss the genocide that would appease people who simply don't want you to talk about it. They will say and do anything to distract, pull focus, and muddy the waters. Once you're willing to make these kind of patently ridiculous arguments in order to defend the mass murder of thousands of innocent people while simultaneously claiming the moral high ground, there's no reasoning with that. And if history has taught us anything, it's that that type of attitude must not be appeased. We certainly don't owe them the courtesy of disputing their bad faith interpretations of our words, or the clumsy vile reframing they insist on so they can pretend to be anything but the bloodthirsty fascist collaborators they are. No matter how stringently polite and respectful we attempt to be, it will not matter. They will manufacture some secret, insidious hidden message to anything we say. It's desperate, it's pathetic, and I think people are starting to realize that. I think people are starting to realize we need not argue with the made-up positions they're pretending to believe in order to distract from reality. It's all just a smokescreen, a cloud of ink, which are squids, not octopuses. Don't start with me. They want to make criticism of their beliefs and actions dangerous and costly because they know their beliefs and actions will not withstand that criticism. So just withstand the weaponized outrage. Don't be led into a discussion of whatever focus group inane talking point they've concocted. Keep their feet to the fire about the ethnic cleansing being carried out right now in the real world that they are supporting, and ignore whatever fantasy bullshit they imagine to distract you. Just tell them that they're little freaks and to fuck off. That's the long and short of it. They're little freaks, and they need to shut the fuck up. It should never be comfortable for them to speak these heinous opinions. They should get stink eye, they should be laughed at and run out of town on a rail. I suppose I should say out loud on video that like any ad revenue that this video generates, on the off chance that it's not demonetized, will go to some sort of Palestinian relief charity, probably the PCRF. I do think it's going to be demonetized, so what I'll do in that case is just donate whatever the usual video gets in ad revenue instead. And I'm saying that at the end of the video so that most people won't see it and they'll get very mad in the comments saying that I'm only being controversial for money. Yeah, but in general, if you disagree with anything I've said in this video, please let me know. Go ahead and leave that big comment you're writing, because I won't delete it. Don't worry about that. Not gonna delete your comment. I'm going to spend all my time arguing with people in the comments for sure. If you spend a long time writing a big unwieldy essay in the comments, rest assured I will read all of it and take it seriously and definitely respond to it and give you a lot of my time and energy. So go ahead and do that. Go ahead. Debate me, coward.
Damn.
Oh, they had some horse ones at the store.
Oh, for real?
that'd be
Horse
so
lollies? Bro, what the fuck are you doing? What are you talking about, man? What? You just...
The Rabbit R1 is a tech product that has raised tens of millions in venture capital, promised the world, and delivered on almost none of it. Worse, though, it's built on a scam that the founder is now trying to distance himself from. But hey, where are my manners? I'm trying to be more positive in 2024. So let's let this company introduce themselves at least before we say anything negative about them.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jesse, and I'm the founder and CEO of Rabbit. This is the Rabbit R1. I can speak or type with R1. I can also use R1 to call a ride. I can also use R1 to order food. I can also make R1 to a set of more complex actions. For example, if I want to plan a trip to London, I can just describe what I wish in full to R1. You can order the R1 now at rabbit.tech, and we are shipping Easter 2024.
Well, there you go. That's not so bad. You got yourself a standard tech guy in a black shirt promising the world Apple keynote background. What could go wrong? Oh, and I guess it's past Easter 2024, so the product should have shipped. So before we talk about the scam angle, let's briefly check in with Tech YouTube for how this AI assistant is assistanting.
The thing that you get at the beginning is like borderline non-functional.
Book an Uber to LTT Labs.
The rideshare status is currently unavailable.
Get me a ride.
Apologies. The Uber ride request couldn't be processed.
What is this?
You're holding a taco.
Oh, that's not good. I could give them a few lessons on positivity. Turns out, basically everyone in the tech sector tag teamed this product for being non-functional or plain wrong about things that Rabbit said the R1 could handle. Things just weren't working. But what if I told you that wasn't the biggest scam? That this company is built on something much worse. And now that I've been so cheery and positive, let's go down the rabbit hole and see what's under the hood. Yes, it's a bunch of rabbit jokes. So the first thing we need to do is go to their webpage. The R1 is created by something called Rabbit Incorporated, but this company has a strange history. It was originally registered under a different name, Cyber Manufacture Co. In fact, they changed their name 2 months before their official announcement. And it turns out that name change is pretty significant because Cyber Manufacture Co. wasn't just like a shell company or the same company under a different name. They had separately raised venture capital for a completely different project. Not AI, it was for NFTs. Now, before you laugh, remember, this is 2021 when people took NFTs very seriously. According to a press release, the project was called Gamma, and it was at the intersection of gaming, community ownership, and Web3 buzzwords. What does that have to do with AI? Well, not really much. Conversely, Rabbit today also sort of wants nothing to do with crypto. Their founder, Jesse, announces for Rabbit, let me be clear, quote, we will never touch crypto. Never. Okay, well, that's pretty strong, but given their whole past is built on crypto NFTs, it's a little strange. Now, when Gamma is brought up, Jesse doesn't really deny that he ran the project. He sort of makes it sound like it was no big deal, just kind of a thing of the past. Quote, Gamma was a fun little project I was involved with during early COVID time. My main work is to build a Unreal Engine 5 space station themed game that I later open sourced. Yes, Gamma released NFTs and I bought a bunch myself just for fun. Never trade, never released any token or crypto coins, and I left that project once the game was open sourced. Well, there you go, haters. Case closed. It was a fun little multi-million-dollar project he did. He just built it on Unreal Engine. He may have sold a few NFTs, but he bought a few NFTs. So, you know, it's not a scam. Please don't look into this. Please do not look into this. This is not a scam. Oh, some people may have looked into it. First, Emily Shepard, and then the writer and podcaster Ed Zitron jumped in the fray with a great article. Now, I spoke to Ed, and he told me a very different story than Jesse about this Gamma project.
It's so weird, and it's the same company. And in 2021, they raised this $6 million, and then Jesse Liu, across several hours of Clubhouse that I subjected myself to, promised the world and more.
Now, I have to say, promise the world and more is slightly inconsistent with fun little COVID project. So I decided I needed to listen to these recordings of Jesse talking about Gamma myself back in the day and find out who was really telling the truth. Jesse or Jesse?
I don't want to make Gamma, or none of us want to make Gamma as a hype and dump program. This is a legit team with millions of dollars of fundings behind. Basically, we're dumping millions of monies into it just to make sure that it will be a next level experiences.
Okay, I have to admit, it definitely sounds like Ed is right. This is sold as whatever the opposite of a quick NFT hype and dump project is. And this is where things get much weirder.
So NFT is only just the beginning, the very beginning of this. We probably think that the NFT part will only take, no more than 20% of the entire weight of this entire Gamma project. So after NFT, we have this huge, groundbreaking ideas about Gammaverse. Then after that, we have this, again, huge groundbreaking ideas about the clean energy versus Gamma coin. And that, the chances that Gamma coin become the first not only carbon neutral, but actually carbon negative crypto 2.0 or Bitcoin 2.0. I think that's completes the entire Gamma story.
Hopefully now you're starting to see why I think it's strange for Jesse to claim that Gamma was a fun little project where he never released these tokens or crypto coins, when that's sort of what he promised. He told people he was going to release a carbon negative Bitcoin 2.0. And look, I know it sounds stupid now, but again, 2021 was a different time. And remember, Jesse had millions in backing. It's not hard to see how people took him seriously. He said it didn't matter how the NFTs did. He was going to execute. But where are those millions? The money raised from customers. When the company changed to Rabbit, where did it go? Did it go to develop Rabbit, a completely different project? I don't know. I'd love to sit down with Jesse and find out. What I do know, though, is that so many of the promises of Gamma didn't happen. And this is relevant to the R1, not just because this project is built on the skeleton of that scam project. It's also because the R1 was overhyped in a similar way as a do-it-all device. But this same company isn't some historyless company. They have a history of abandoning investors like they did with Gamma NFTs. I mean, Jesse even told people who were worried about the NFTs, don't pay attention to that. It's all gonna work out. You just gotta be a true supporter.
I would suggest for our true supporters, do not pay too much detail about the current NFT mechanisms, because that doesn't matter. I can safely say that even if the entire NFT project completely failed, which I don't think that's the case, we're gonna still push the Gammaverse, and we're gonna still push the clean energy and Gamma coin happen using our funds.
I cannot emphasize enough, that was a lie. That never happened. The clean energy Gamma coin never got published or built or launched, even though Jesse said they were going to do it. They had the money. By the way, we all know it's vaporware, but I think it's important to really hear him sell it, because this is the same guy who wants you to take him seriously when he sells you the future of AI. Take a listen to the whole vision really laid out.
Gamma coin, which is basically Bitcoin 2.0, that is 100% generated by clean energy. And we did the math, we did the calculations to where if you own over 1,800 megawatts of clean energy generation, that means you will have extra generated electricity that you can donate back to Celebrate. So the general concept is, let's say if you own a Gamma NFT, that means you own the equal portion in valuation of your NFTs at that moment of that clean energy grid that we started building in the real world. That means you own that power, that portion of the clean energy solar panels that generates that power. And that means you own that power. And that also means that you own that portion of that power, and that power will be used to generate Gamma coins. That means you can earn your Gamma coins out of this entire clean energy cycle.
All right, let's try to suspend our disbelief for a second here and figure this out. basically, he's saying buying NFTs somehow would build a clean energy grid, which you would sort of co-own, which would make clean tokens, sort of a thing. And look, I know that sounds a little insane, but the funny thing is, it's sort of the most sensible part of this project, because as I learned, that wasn't even close to the end of it.
They were saying there was going to be a storefront on, I think, Fairfax Avenue across from Supreme in LA. They were going to do a comic book. They claimed there's a Discord
comic book?
Yeah, they said a comic book, a TV show, an MMORPG, and at one point, yes. And then Jesse Liu at one point said that the future of this thing you would control using your brain logic. It is insane.
Am I the only one who doesn't know what brain logic control is? Look, when I first heard this, I thought this cannot be right. This project is already crypto plus NFTs plus clean energy plus comic books. Surely they aren't going to wrap in AI as well, right?
The ultimate goal is that each NPC will be powered by AI algorithms, and then you will be interact directly with them using your natural language and your brain logic. I think that will be the ultimate goal. And when I say ultimate goal, I don't think that's like a 10 years plan. I think, you know, in the next couple of years, we might have a very good chance to achieve it.
Oh, he did. He promised it in 2 years. Okay, well, why not toss in AI to the buzzword salad? In fact, I guess it maybe relates it more to Rabbit. Maybe we do have the connection, right? The brain logic interface is the connection. I mean, why not just make it the Matrix while you're at it?
I mean, it surely is the Matrix to my extent, and to the original concept of the Matrix, that, you know, you will be reborn with your alter identity in this metaverse, and whatever you do in the real world matches the exact consequences in the digital world.
Okay, did this man just do the if you die in the game, you die in real life, unironically, while selling NFTs? The answer is yes. And my only follow-up question is, if you get scammed in the metaverse, do you get scammed in real life in this world too? Look, I'm not here to stump for the bigwig venture capitalists who lost their faces on this. At the end of the day, these are both consumer-facing businesses. They got real people to invest real money into both the $200 Rabbit R1 and into this Gamma NFT project. Both are overhyped. One just already didn't deliver what they promised, while the other is working on fixing it. So, what can be done here? Well, for one, the minimum is that the Gamma NFT holders should be refunded the money they spent. I mean, this isn't even my crazy, wacky suggestion. Jesse suggested it himself in those Clubhouse calls.
And I better pay my money to collect your NFT back if you think this is just an NFT hype and dump project. I have to say that. So the communities will have my words. Anyone that is not envisioning the Gamma to the stage 2 or 3, just want to make a couple of E's out of stage 1, reach out to me. I will buy your NFTs. Okay, I will buy your Gammas and get a f out. All right?
All right. We'll take you up on that. Yes, I got a haircut. So I reached out again to Jesse about these refunds, but he didn't respond again. The Rabbit team did, though. They told me Jesse would not refund investors. The quote was out of context. The project was never abandoned. It was actually open sourced. What does that mean? Well, Rabbit claims the Gamma team delivered everything they promised in 3 stages. The one problem is the 3 stages they gave me aren't the 3 stages they promised. The metaverse, by the way, they said they created too, is not a metaverse. It's an Unreal Engine project file that I downloaded to play. It's based on a starter game called Lyra. You can see the starter assets here. And the things Gamma did do made the game so buggy that it crashed every minute. But it gets worse. The Rabbit team denied Gamma ever promised the carbon negative coin, which they repeatedly promised. They said the coin you referred to never materialized, nor was it ever promised or delivered. Now, obviously, I thought I had a stroke. Here I was listening to Jesse promise it, but also he even put it in a video saying, explaining Gamma with our roadmap.
Ultimately, our efforts will lead to the Gamma token, the first ever carbon negative cryptocurrency powered by our sun. Together, we will create a sustainable future for all life on the planet we call home. Join the Discord today and meet your fellow crew members. Gamma.
I don't know how they could have been more clear. I think it's amazing to have them say now, we never promised that. Only to find a roadmap video with you promising in big letters, carbon negative cryptocurrency. It's just gaslighting at this point to pretend otherwise. What is funny is that Rabbit also mentions clean energy initiatives they say they did, like reducing gas fees. But again, that's not what they promised. They promised a clean energy grid. Jesse also promised it on Discord. His post was in Chinese, but he's clearly talking about open sea transactions being used to buy land to build the clean energy grid, which is going to help mine Gamma coins, which is exactly what he said on Clubhouse. I mean, these people are contradicting themselves in multiple languages. So I'll let you decide at the end of the day if the Rabbit team is being honest here. Towards the end, they even tried to tell me that Gamma, in our opinion, and as stated in the fact sheet, has no connection with Rabbit. But the fact sheet they're talking about, they sent me in a document called Gamma Project Fact Sheet. You can't just declare your own facts when it's the same company who made both things, the Rabbit and the Gamma Project. How can you say there's no connection? But after realizing no accountability would be taken and no refunds would be given by this project, I began to feel bad for Gamma investors. It made me wonder, what else is this team hiding? Well, I decided to find out.
Zone A under enemy assault. We're moving on Zone B. Situation report. Enemies control all zones. Deal with them. We're assaulting Zone C. Team capturing Zone A.
Shield out! I'm down, but not out! Yet.
We got the zone. Zone secured. Capture zone contested. Zone A under enemy assault. Enemies on B. Light them up. Zone compromised. Phantoms don't get frustrated. We get even. We're going for B. New armament acquired. Zone secured. Zone B under assault. Zone contested. We got the zone. Hostiles are winning. Get it together. Take all zones and keep them secure.
Changing mags.
Zone B, under assault. Enemy echelon is tracking with sonar goggles. Zone compromised. Team securing B. Zone compromised. We'll be cracking open any cold rooms after this. Don't let that happen again. We're going for B.
To rewire the copper pipes in my asbestos land medicinal nuclear weapons to get ready to. Damn, girl. Did it hurt when you fell from the peak of the Gaussian distribution curve of desirable female traits? Your symmetrical features tell me there's a good statistical chance you don't have a tapeworm. When you walked into the room, I could tell you were ovulating by your gait. At this time of the month, my scent receptors are enhanced. I can smell your genetic profile. it's compatible with mine. And your waist to hip ratio is within the range of 0.7 for childbearing, so I know your offspring will likely reach full term. But if we were to do the deed tonight, what is the statistical probability that the resulting child would be mine? Using Bayes' theorem. Sorry, I'm not naturally gifted in STEM. Well, that's okay. I have very large balls, which means I have a force powerful enough to douche your womb into oblivion. Also, I can use my tongue beforehand to see if I can taste the genes of a rival mate. How would you know what that tastes like? Don't you worry about that. This all sounds like BS, but I have an agreeable nature, so I'll nod along. What tax bracket are you in? Basic rate. You see, feminism forced me to graduate with a master's, and now I earn more than you, so I'm gonna go find a mate now with dark triad traits to fuck my problems away, but if you're free to cuckold a child later... God damn it, I am so nostalgic for the Pleistocene! Those are all real theories of human sexual selection from evolutionary psychology. Welcome to the Mooncat channel, where you follow me down whatever internet rabbit hole I've been falling down recently, and we slowly go insane together. My research process for this video went a little bit like this. This paper is goofy. By implying there's a natural order to humanity, it serves as a purpose to retain the status quo, benefiting only those who already benefit from it. Evolutionary psychology is kind of stuck in the essentialist scientific era, but the more we learn about ourselves, the more we realize we don't have an essence. Perhaps humankind has actually evolved as a programmatic monolith, and every person is a synapse within the social tapestry, just contributing threads of knowledge like droplets in an entropic ocean of reasoning, which will evaporate into the cosmos, and only then will we reach the singularity. So, do you want to join me on this journey? Ooh, nice. Good pour on that one.
Since the caveman days,
hundreds of thousands of years ago, very difficult for women to overcome hypergamous instinct.
You are biologically wired to be deathly afraid of talking to girls. Social hierarchy.
Alpha male caveman.
Pulling his ejaculate up to the surface.
That's built in at a fundamental level.
To the zenith level of orgasm.
Dating. She could have my baby. What Darwin called female choice.
Cryptic female choice.
We all know a guy who has spent a lot of time online and seems to have biological, scientific backing for all their opinions, all of which happen to be centered around Eurocentric beauty standards, 1950s gender roles, and the economic status quo. And then as soon as you try and challenge them or criticize them, all of a sudden you're in your
feelings, you're virtue signaling, you're trying to be politically correct, but they're just looking at the facts, bro.
People seeing culture moving away from a supposed ideal will use varied mechanisms to stop that change. First, they might use the law to restrict the freedom of people moving away from this sort of norm. But once this technique has been vanquished by the progressives, conservatives may turn to more psychological manipulation, basically gaslighting the public into believing things have always been this way for a reason. And the final resort of this psychological manipulation is the misleading use of science. Evolutionary psychology is the perfect tool for this. Social hierarchies exist, but it's okay because your rung on the societal ladder was determined by your genes. There's nothing you can do about it, so accept it. Science itself is in a crisis. It's being mistaken for logic and reason, and academics are in a pit of misleading studies, unreplicated studies, publication bias, manipulated data, and outright fraud carried out by their own peers, and they're scrambling around trying to figure out how to fix it. And meanwhile, it's being communicated to a public who don't know how to engage with it critically. And this mess is being taken advantage of. Political pundits will use small, convenient sections of it as a weapon of truth, and others will use sections of it as a misleading marketing tactic to sell supplements and books. It has never been so lucrative to be a science-backed nutritionist or neuroscientist influencer. Evolutionary psychology is just one of the tools that these people will use to convince you, to fool you, because it sounds plausible. Why not use Evo Psychologic to train people in everyday public speaking skills?
And when we can't see someone's hands, something interesting happens. You should start to feel just a little bit uncomfortable. And the reason for that is because when you can't see my hands, you wonder, what is she doing back there? Because we were approached by a stranger caveman. The first place we looked was the hands to see if they were carrying a rock or a spear. In other words, we wanted to know if we were safe, if they were friend or foe. Now, this actually still remains from caveman days.
Oh, right, because without that little story about cavemen, I never would have realized that it was weird to do public speaking with your hands behind your back. That's what I've been doing wrong the entire time. Wow, thanks, cavemen.
Now, this is actually a good thing. As humans, this keeps us safe. Dr. Paul Ekman has studied something...
Oh, God, no, he's haunting me. No! Why not use evolutionary psychology to train your dog?
You know, you're a caveman back in the caveman days. You think cavemen were hanging out, worrying about clickers? No, they would just get their dogs down and they'd start to...
Well, we've got some unfortunate news for a majority of people who watch this show, because alongside COVID and, of course, delicious, healthy urine, it turns out that microplastics are also stored in the balls. Yes, our humble testicles appear to be the snug, temperate, comfy Goldilocks zone for both creating life and taking it away. What started out as a simple and humorous meme that pee is stored in the balls apparently made some scientists stop and say, well, that's not true, but we should probably check on a few other things while we're on the topic.
Yeah, let's just take a look down there.
And then they found COVID. They found a significant reduction in general sperm count across many, many people. And now they got microplastics in there too.
And I wonder if all these things are related.
They're on zone C.
Well, you should start studying science, Elliot. You could be one of those eggheads down at the lab.
I gotta go take a look at these balls for myself.
So if everything else going on in the world wasn't enough, we just got a reality check right to the nuts, because nothing is safe from being contaminated with microplastics.
I eat a credit card a week, and it goes straight to my nutsack.
It keeps me safe and strong. Now, at this point, it should be obvious that all of us are completely riddled with this shit, and future generations, if they even exist, will look back on us with disgust at how the hell we let our plastic problem get so out of hand that it ended up in our balls.
I mean, I didn't let anything happen. This was beyond my control.
I was born after plastic was invented, and I will die before anything has withered away into nature.
Yeah, it's the same way you can't get mad at boomers for breathing in all that leaded gasoline. It did turn them all into monsters, but it's not their fault. What were they supposed to do?
It smelled delicious, damn it.
It does. Very nice and sweet. And the paint chips,
so good.
A tasty treat.
And nothing keeps a home nice and safe from fire better than asbestos.
Yeah. The results don't lie. So while this latest news about the plastic in the balls is certainly unsettling, microplastics can now be found literally anywhere, in every animal, even in the air that some of us breathe, doing untold damage to our environment and everyone's health. And that's one of the most frustrating parts. This is such a relatively recent development that scientists and doctors aren't exactly sure how bad this is and what all these microplastics are doing to us, because the long-term effects are still being discovered. But the general consensus is that, yeah, it's definitely not great that we, along with everything else, including the food and drinks we consume, are littered with microplastics. And it's even been said that microplastics will turn out to be our generation's asbestos.
Yep.
They got us. There's also pretty much nothing we can do on an individual level to stop it either, because a lot of them exist as the result of just like washing your clothes, driving your car, or just consuming anything in our modern world. And you might say, oh, well, I'm gonna go live out in the sticks. I'm gonna be a survivalist. They're finding this shit in fucking ice cores in the Arctic. Yep. It's everywhere.
In the deepest trenches of the ocean, and, well, obviously on Mount Everest, because people just treat that as a giant dump. But even if there weren't people summiting Mount Everest, they'd still be finding it up there because it travels through everything, even the clouds. Now, just to be clear before we get into the rest of the episode, when we say microplastics, we mean that they are barely, if at all, visible to the human eye. Basically, any shred of plastic smaller than 5 millimeters is microplastic. So all the visual representations in media are inaccurate. But they're necessary because if they showed you photos of actual microplastics, you'd be like, what is this? What am I looking at?
Yeah,
there's nothing there, it's dust.
Dust.
Yeah, it wouldn't pack the same punch. Anyways, with more on the discovery of microplastics invading all of our testicles and what that might mean for the human race, here's The Guardian.
Well, at least one half of the human race.
Well, currently we still need our balls to produce children.
Oh yeah, true.
Microplastics have been found in human testicles, with researchers saying the discovery might be linked to declining sperm counts in men.
The scientists tested 23 human testes, as well as 47 testes from pet dogs. They found microplastic pollution in every sample. The human testicles had been preserved, and so their sperm count could not be measured. However, the sperm count in the dog's testes could be assessed and was lower in samples with higher contamination with PVC. The study demonstrates a correlation, but further research is needed to prove microplastics cause sperm counts to fall.
Microplastics have also recently been discovered in human blood, placentas, and breast milk, indicating widespread contamination of people's bodies. The impact on health is as yet unknown, but microplastics have been shown to cause damage to human cells in the laboratory. Oh, good. Vast amounts of plastic waste are dumped in the environment, and microplastics have polluted the entire planet, from the summit of Mount Everest to the deepest oceans. People are known to consume the tiny particles via food and water, as well as breathing them in. The particles could lodge in tissue and cause inflammation, as air pollution particles do, or chemicals in the plastics could cause harm. In March, doctors warned of potentially life-threatening effects after finding a substantially raised risk of stroke, heart attack, and earlier death in people whose blood vessels were contaminated with microscopic plastics. The testes analyzed were obtained from postmortems in 2016, with the men ranging in age from 16 to 88 when they died. The human testicles had a plastic concentration almost 3 times higher than that found in the dog testes. 330 micrograms per gram of tissue compared with 123 micrograms.
Yeah.
How does that work? Because dogs are always licking on everything. How do they have less microplastics in their balls than I got in mine?
You know why, Elliot?
I'm with you.
Because just like the boomers, they drink straight out of the hose.
They do.
That's the one thing that they knew. It's actually not safe at all. That is a joke. And I was surprised to find out that, yeah, a lot of the microplastics, because you think you're just consuming it in drinking and eating food. It's the basis from where they come from as far as like human interaction is so much of it just coming off of people's tires and then washing into the, eventually the ocean. But also, yeah, washing your clothes, because a lot of clothes are made with fucking plastic byproducts now. And just all of that water and everything going down into our sewer systems and turning into everything else, because fish eat that.
Seems bad.
Yeah.
And also, I like how it's like doctors warned that this could cause elevated risk of these things. Like, oh, okay, I'll stop eating all that plastic. Thanks, Doc.
I'm going to put aside my morning bowl of plastic.
Hey, if you keep eating that plastic, bad things are gonna happen.
Oh, hey, I better stop.
Doc, I can quit eating plastic whenever I want, okay?
Yeah, it is not a problem. I'm definitely not addicted to eating plastic. Doctors. Huh. Anyway, speaking of stuff that almost certainly has, or at this time, had microplastics in it, Red Lobster has gone bankrupt. And we haven't really covered this because we thought it was pretty obvious that the endless shrimp promotion killing Red Lobster thing was just obvious bullshit. But here we are.
It was funnier, though.
It is a much better story.
Yeah.
And before Monday of this week, there were hundreds of news articles gleefully parroting the story that Red Lobster, they were just simply too charitable with their shrimp promotion.
The movie pass of seafood.
They fed a starving nation at their own peril. And the American appetite was simply too large for the seafood chain to stay in business. So they were forced to close their doors for good. We won. We won, everyone. Now,
do I look like a man who's had enough? All that I can eat?
Obviously, that is bullshit. Shrimp is quite literally one of the, as far as their actual meat ingredients go at Red Lobster, one of the cheapest things on the menu, probably the least expensive seafood available. It makes them money to get people into the restaurant for the shrimp deal, because it's far more likely that they are going to spend extra money on other items that have much better margins, like booze or those delicious Cheddar Bay biscuits.
They are delicious.
Still, everyone took the bait and the narrative was set. Red Lobster wasn't going bankrupt because a private equity group acquired them, stripped everything, saddled them with debt, and slowly but meticulously killed the company while siphoning off whatever cash was produced before it reached insolvency. No, it was actually because you ate too much shrimp, you dumbass.
Yeah, it's your fault, you fat fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. We're hearing that it's actually, it's because of the whole private equity.
Oh.
Less fun, though.
Yeah, not as fun to talk about around the table with the family members.
Yeah, so it turns out Red Lobster was killed off in pretty much the same way that Toys R Us was killed off years ago. A company called Golden Gate Capital bought the company, sold its real estate assets, had the restaurants themselves pay the parent company for rent on top of other expenses, saddled the company with debt, sold it off to a seafood company based in Thailand called Thai Union and other investment groups. The pandemic hit, people's preferences and habits changed. Red Lobster was already a brand in general decline for years, and there you have it, a bankrupt company that probably could have survived and maybe thrived if it had leadership and owners who simply wanted to run a restaurant chain and not act like gamblers at a casino. And we're going to be clear again with this whole endless shrimp ruined Red Lobster narrative. The endless shrimp promotion did lose the company money, but only around $11 million over the reported quarter. The company itself was saddled with $1 billion in debt.
Yeah, that's a very small slice of their problem.
Yeah.
And to be honest, with the way that this was being sent out and talked about, you would have assumed that the company had lost $1 billion worth of shrimp.
Yeah, it was funny to imagine that.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, they're ordering more shrimp.
Just
what are we gonna do?
Barges of shrimp. And
what have
like,
we done?
Like $11 million worth of shrimp is a lot of shrimp. But when you're considering the entirety of, I guess, the world and all the Red Lobsters around the world, and then people going in there, guaranteed, at least Americans are going in there as a challenge to see how much shrimp they can eat.
Mukbang.
It seems like it wasn't that bad of a promotion.
Yeah, and it's a loss leader. Again, it gets you in the door.
It's Costco selling gas for cheaper. They get you in there.
So no, it's not the goddamn shrimp. With more on the downfall of Red Lobster, here's a recent article from Eater.com.
Red Lobster has had a really rough last 10 years, maybe even worse than the rest of us. Since 2021, the chain has had 5 different CEOs. In 2014, its parent company Darden sold Red Lobster to a private equity firm called Golden Gate Capital for $2.1 billion. That sale helped Darden pay off $100 billion in debt and fueled significant growth for its other restaurants like Olive Garden in the ensuing years. Following the sale of Red Lobster to Golden Gate, the chain's real estate assets were also sold off, which meant that the restaurants now had to pay rent on these locations to their parent company. As such, the company was stuck in leases for underperforming restaurants that it couldn't afford. In August of 2020, Golden Gate Capital sold Red Lobster to Thai Union, a Thailand-based seafood company that owns a number of seafood brands, including canned tuna brand Chicken of the Sea. Once Thai Union took over, Red Lobster insiders say that the company engaged in extreme cost-cutting measures and did not place enough emphasis on innovation.
In an interview with Business Insider earlier this month, co-director of the Center for Economic and Policy Research had this to say. Once they sell the real estate, then the private equity company is golden, and they've made their money back, and probably more than what they paid. The retail apocalypse is all about having your real estate sold out from under you so that you have to pay the rent in good times and in bad. There's also the fact that Thai Union, who became the owner of Red Lobster, was selling them all of the shrimp for these promotions, and that the previous Red Lobster CEO had worked with them to shut out other shrimp sellers so that Thai Union could be the sole supplier, which obviously led to higher costs for Red Lobster.
Yeah.
So yeah, seems bad. Though it's nice to know that when companies are intentionally destroyed for whatever value they have left, just stripped for parts, their downfall will be blamed entirely on you for being a big, fat, greasy, sloppy American who just can't stop shoveling endless shrimp in your gaping maw.
It's all your fault.
Yeah, look at you with your little bib on. Yeah, that's not, you're too bad your body's so big the bib is just like only protecting a little bit of your chest and you're still getting fucking shrimp grease and guts all over you.
Yeah, be careful when you drive home after Red Lobster. And no, we're not talking about the booze. We're talking about the butter covering every single part of your body.
Yeah.
You're gonna be slipping all over that wheel. Your foot's gonna slip off the pedal. God, I hope you're not in a Cybertruck.
Yeah, look at you, you greased pig.
No, actually, it was just capitalism working like it
Yeah. Yeah.
At least some people got rich, am I right?
Yeah. Good for them.
Now, speaking of people who simply cannot stop eating, a recent story started making the rounds about a woman who became addicted to cheese and had to go to rehab in order to get off the cheese.
Listen, I like cheese a lot, and I can it's delicious.
It is very good.
I can if
this woman was eating blocks of cheese.
If I have a wheel of some cheese in my fridge, it's gonna get eaten, probably at a rate that is not healthy. And I guess you can get addicted to just about anything. But cheese rehab? Rehab for cheese?
That's right.
Have you ever sucked dick for cheese?
Well, this is kind of funny. And I think it's only funny because it's cheese. It's just a funny item to get addicted to. But look, obviously we're aware that addiction to food is very real. It is a very real thing. It is not just cheese. It happens with all foods.
It's just usually not so specific.
Yeah, the story's only viral because she, self-admittedly, became so addicted to cheese that she was apparently forced to pay $6,000 per week to attend a rehab for dairy addicts.
So there's enough of these people, they got them all in a room?
Well, it's when you're paying that much, I think you deserve a little bit more. So yes, it was a destination rehab retreat.
Yeah.
So kind of just seemed like a vacation where they're like, hey, look, we got a buffet full of food, no cheese though. It seems like you could like maybe go like a vegan festival and have the same experience.
Yeah, true.
Anyways, you'll never guess why she became addicted to cheese though. Elliot, any guesses before we get into the rest of the story?
Because it tastes so good?
No.
Because her father was a cheesemonger?
Well,
she grew up around the cheeses? She was born in the cheese?
I'm just gonna tell you guys. It's because of the anti-Semitism she faced on college campus. And yes, she claims that the most recent protests also triggered her addiction once again.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Okay. Be serious.
Had to pay the $6,000 to go to rehab for 2 weeks. It was $12,000 apparently.
Things are so dangerous for Jews in America.
When I take that perilous walk home, I get home and I say, whew! Now it's time to take down an entire block of cheese. That will surely turn my life around. I'm so stressed.
Yeah, wow. This cheese addiction has absolutely just ravaged her life. It's made her. It's basically carpet bombed her life. It has double tapped the roof of her life.
You hate to see it.
It has denied her life the necessary aid that her life needs to properly function.
Yep. Well, here's the New York Post with the exclusive interview with this woman and more on the story.
A Manhattan law school student was so hooked on cheese that she had to go to rehab to end her insatiable appetite for dairy, she told the Post. I stopped by either Morton Williams or by Whole Foods, and I would just buy cheese, and I would literally just eat a block of cheese with my hands, said Kojab, 27, often while sitting on the floor of her Midtown apartment alone in the dark. Loser. It was the only thing that would make me feel somewhat whole. I kept telling myself it was actually cheaper to just buy some blocks of cheese than to get a $12 salad from Fresh & Co., Kojab said. I was telling myself I was making an economic decision, as people with addictions rationalize. Dr. Neil Barnard, author of The Cheese Trap, and adjunct professor of medicine at the George Washington University School of Medicine, explained people like Kojab become addicted to cheese due to the high concentration of fat and salt in the food, along with a protein known as casein that can get people mildly hooked. Well, you see, as a doctor, the reason people get so addicted to this food is because it tastes good and has ingredients in it that taste good.
Yes.
And it feels good to eat it.
Yeah. And your body says, give me more of that because I want to store these fat cells for later use. And that later use being a treacherous walk back to the Midtown Manhattan apartment.
Cheese really is like the OG when it comes to like foods, where like today we have many examples of this, where if you went back to like the year 1000 and you gave a child like a Flamin' Hot Cheeto, like he would die on the spot.
Yeah.
But we had cheese like, that was like real fucking early. They're just like, you're not gonna fucking believe this shit. You know
it
how
tastes good as shit too.
You know how we get milk out of that cow? Pretty good, right? Yeah, we all agree. Tasty. You're gonna fucking lose your mind when you try. What I just did, I made with that milk. It's usually wet. This is not wet. It's actually, it's
Take
solid.
a bite of that.
Take it. Come on, have a little piece. Yeah, you want another one, don't you? Mm-hmm. Well, it's gonna cost you.
Okay, well, the whole salt and fat being addicted thing, that is one take.
Okay.
Now, however, though, the woman at the center of this story, she said that her addiction stemmed from stress. She was the president of a Zionist student group called Realize Israel, at odds with other student activists and professors calling on the university to sever ties with Israel. The dairy diet quickly wrecked Kojab's health. Her weight skyrocketed to a peak of 172 pounds. She also stopped menstruating for 5 months during the throes of her cheese feasts and became at risk for type 2 diabetes. Attending a 2-week wellness retreat at Hilton Head Health in South Carolina, which cost at minimum $5,820 a week, that helped the Asiago addict gain control over her eating disorder. Instructors and counselors taught her the basics of how to order and prepare healthy meals, count calories, and consider healthier snacks, like blueberries or popcorn in lieu of Havarti. Her weight has since dropped to a string cheese slim 123 pounds, in part aided by Ozempic. Now, of course, the Ozempic was, as they put it, prescribed to deal with her diabetes risk, which it doesn't say that she ever had.
No, I mean, they did say she was like, I don't know,
at risk for, yes. But,
which I think probably like the majority of this country is pre-diabetic.
Absolutely, yeah. So they gave her the Ozempic and like bing, bang, boom. With hard work and a little bit of Ozempic, she was able to lose a significant amount of weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for her, I guess.
They also point out that Kojab, who settled an anti-Semitism lawsuit she brought against NYU in 2019.
Wait, 2019? This wasn't this year?
No.
Hold on a fucking second.
No.
Wait. What the fuck? What was even happening in 2019?
Yeah, I have to imagine
how
that
many people were at the fucking anti-Zionist protest? There had to be, I don't know, a dozen fucking people.
She felt very threatened and got addicted to
Shut up!
Which, like, yeah, she must have been relapsing heavy.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what pushed her over the edge, I can't imagine. She's probably 400 pounds by now.
I know.
She definitely boomerang.
Yeah, but okay, so she had that lawsuit, they point out, 2019, they settled. She is set to graduate from the Cardozo School of Law in June, and she hasn't sworn off cheese completely.
Oh, big mistake, lady.
You can't. It's hard to regulate when you're an addict. You can't just say I'll have a little bit of cheese.
It's never
you
just
end up
one.
Eating the whole wheel.
Yeah.
Quote, I dabble, but not in the way I used to before, she said, adding the recent waves of anti-Israel encampments at Columbia and other universities prompted brief relapses. Quote, when I'm really stressed, I'll have a block of cheese, but it doesn't happen that often.
Fuck you.
That's like being like, a little stressed, I'm gonna do this entire handle of whiskey. Yeah. Which I'm like, okay.
Stories like this, I have to wonder, I'm like, okay, how did this story land on the desk of a reporter at a major national news outlet?
It's got everything.
Does she have like a fucking manager who's like shopping this shit around?
First of all, probably yes. Second of all, this story has it all. It's got Ozempic, it's got anti-Israel sentiment, it's got mentions of the campus protests, it's got, not in the way that I think that she wants to be portrayed, but that same kind of take where it's like, millennials are spending money on the silliest thing. Yeah. It's like Midtown Manhattan apartment, and I'm spending thousands of dollars on
good, even if we're not toppling a fascist regime. Zone contested. Commandeer the capture zones. Keep the enemy out. Zone B is in danger.
Roger, I'm in.
Sign me up.
Domination. Rule number 6. There's always another war, another cantina, another capture zone. 3, 2, 1. Take the zones! Topple the enemy! Viva la revolución! We're taking zone A. We're taking zone B. Capture zone is ours now. Amigos capturing zone C. Capture zone contested. We're taking zone B. Zone's ours now. The enemy is attacking zone B.
Help! I'm in bad shape. Reloading.
We're taking zone B. Capture zone contested.
Changing mag.
If you take some knocks, pick yourself up and punch back. Zone compromised. We're moving on zone B. Zone A under enemy assault. Enemy spy has a lock on your position. Enemy has boots on A.
secured. Securing Zone A. Hostiles are winning. Get it together. Zone B, under assault. We got the zone. Secure all the capture zones and keep them that way. Zone contested. Friendly's moving on C.
Active camo.
Zone contested. We're securing A. Enemy has boots on A. Zone B's compromised. We got the zone.
Get here. Reloading.
Team securing B.
Shield out.
Zone compromised. Mission ending, Shadow Team. And it ain't looking good. Enemy Epsilon is tracking me with sonar goggles. That's a kill. Zone contested. Teams moving on B. They're taking A.
Engaging camo.
Wrong outcome.
On cheese, and I have to go to a rehab for it that costs $12,000.
Yeah, millennials can't afford a house because they're eating a block of cheese every night.
Every day because they're stressed.
Put down the cheese. God.
Yeah. Anyways.
Well, that was just so infuriating. I hated that story. And I hate the person in it. Yeah. Anyway, we do have more news coming up for you in a second. And yeah, if you thought Red Lobster was bleeding money, wait until you get a load of Truth Social's recent financial reports. Oh, I cannot wait. But first, we've got bills of our own to pay. So let's take a second to thank today's sponsors for supporting our show, starting with Shopify. You probably already know them. You probably already love them. It is Shopify, the best platform for shopping, hosting your own business, and keeping track of all of your shipments in one place. There's a ton of amazing duos out there in the world. We are a perfect example, but the best duo is, of course, Shopify and you. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage? Shopify's there to help you grow.
Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, up to 36% better when compared to other leading commerce platforms. No matter how big you want to grow, Shopify gives you everything you need to take control and take your business to the next level. We love Shopify's simple and easy-to-use app because it keeps track of all your online shipments. You can even connect other platforms so that your tracking is all in one place.
Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's extensive help resources are there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow, grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/itdaily, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/itdaily now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/itdaily.
This episode is also sponsored by Yahoo Finance. Wouldn't it be great if you could see all your investments and retirement accounts in one place? With Yahoo Finance, you can consolidate your views from multiple accounts into one hub and access the expert analysis that you need to tend to your entire portfolio with confidence. How do you think Elliot keeps tabs on all of his NVIDIA stock that he bought once 5 years ago and refuses to ever sell? Let's get straight to the point. You want to grow your portfolio to deal with the rising cost of inflation, to pay off your debt or your mortgage, pretty much anything standing in the way of you and financial freedom, right? Well, with Yahoo Finance, you get access to the news, data, and tools that you need in order to help reach that financial freedom.
For more than 25 years, Yahoo Finance has been the brand behind every great investor. Whether you're a seasoned investor or are looking for that extra guidance, Yahoo Finance gives you all the tools and data you need in one place. They are the #1 finance destination, producing a holistic look at the financial news cycle, including breaking news, original editorial perspectives, analyst ratings, independent research, customizable charts, and so much more. With a community of over 90 million users each month, their real strength is helping you on your way to financial success. For comprehensive financial news and analysis, visit the brand behind every great investor, yahoofinance.com, the #1 financial destination. yahoofinance.com. That is yahoofinance.com. No promo code or anything, just brand awareness. You go to the link, there you go. Letting you know about that. Yahoo!
And here's a free tip. Probably don't invest in Trump's social media company.
Yeah, and we're about to explain why that is.
Back to the news, and we are going to cut straight to the chase with this Truth Social news, because if you've watched this show for any length of time, you'll know that Truth Social is a company that is doomed to fail, with absolutely no shot at ever turning an actual profit. It only exists as a way for Trump to sidestep other platforms while artificially pumping the value of truth before eventually selling his shares at whatever price he can get, and then just leaving the company to die. So this next bit of news, it's not that shocking to us, but it might be a little upsetting to anyone who is actually convinced to invest in Truth Social, because not only has it failed to come close to turning a profit, but it is actually hemorrhaging money at a very impressive rate. Here's Variety with the latest.
Trump Media and Technology Group, the company affiliated with former U.S. President Donald Trump that operates Truth Social, reported $770,500 in revenue for the first quarter of 2024.
Oh, that sounds good.
And a net loss of $327.6 million.
Oh, that's a much, much, much bigger number.
Seems like they're losing orders of magnitude more money than they are
770,327 million. Who's to say?
Yeah, hey, at this rate, to keep it up, this company will be, let me do some mental math, bankrupt in a year.
Yeah.
There's no way out of this. Anyway, what's funnier about this is the fact that they claim everything's fine because they are building a long-term product that will only continue to grow and evolve. Despite the fact that the only person who brings any value to the company at all is an overweight 77-year-old who is facing potential jail time. And at the very least, very divisive person.
Yeah.
Not a great brand ambassador. It's like the Elon problem, but even worse.
Yeah.
Even in a best-case scenario, Trump kicking the bucket years from now still leaves this product without their big selling point. So the idea that Truth Social is a long-term viable product is kind of ridiculous. And yeah, I know he's got sons, but they're not as good.
And they don't.
No one thinks they're as good.
They don't pull in the numbers.
Yeah, they are a pale imitation. You go to Don Jr. when your dealer is all out of Don Sr. And when you're just trying to hold, tide yourself over for a little bit.
Yep.
Anyway, here's more from that report.
At this early stage in the company's development, TMTG remains focused on long-term product development rather than quarterly revenue, the company said in announcing Q1 2024 results. By adding features to Truth Social, launching live TV streaming, and building out its ecosystem, the company aims to first develop a slate of best-in-class products that can then be leveraged to increase revenue and drive long-term value. TMTG launched Truth Social in early 2022. The company has not disclosed how many people use the service.
Seems important.
At this juncture in its development, TMTG believes that adhering to traditional key performance indicators, such as signups, average revenue per user, ad impressions and pricing, or active user accounts, including monthly and daily active users, could potentially divert its focus from strategic evaluation with respect to the progress and growth of its business, the company said in its 10-Q filing Monday.
Listen, we're looking big picture. We're not gonna split the details out.
No, but what are the numbers?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, look, as investors,
who cares?
We're just trying.
Stop asking.
We're just trying to get like a view of like.
Shut up.
Potential.
Sit down.
Okay, potential for growth is great, but like, how many people are on the site right now?
Listen, look at this line. You see it? Green, going up.
Yeah.
That's gonna be us. That's all you need to know.
Is that users or profit?
Maybe that's vibes. And vibes are the most important thing.
Sir, I'd like to write you a check for $1 billion.
Sweet.
Hell yeah. All right, so the last part reads as though they really don't want those numbers out there. It seems as though those actual user numbers are probably bad.
Look, we don't even know our user numbers. We don't even look at it. It's not important to us.
I have a file that has the information on the user numbers, but I am scared to look at it.
I'm scared at how many users there will be.
It could be $1 billion.
I don't want to give our back-end engineers a fright.
Yeah. Wow, a computer just imploded.
Yeah. Best to not look where you don't be looking.
But yes, hiding user numbers, theoretically, if they were to be doing that, would make sense, because the only time you hear about Truth Social is when Trump goes on one of his tirades. And even then, people just see the screenshots and analysis elsewhere, not on the actual platform itself.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, the people being grifted kind of deserve it. And maybe this will be the thing that finally snaps them out of their cult. Probably not.
I'd like to see old Donnie Trump wriggle his way out of this one.
He'll wriggle his way out, but the people who lose money on this will certainly, hopefully, be upset. Well, I consider that a donation to the Trump campaign, actually. Anything from my president. But yeah, it is hard to feel bad for anyone who dumps their life savings into a Trump company stock. I mean, what did you think?
That's on you, idiot.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
This time it'll be different.
But sadly, there is more Trump news for you today, because a movie about Trump starring Sebastian Stan has just premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, where we assumed that it got a 20-minute standing ovation, because every fucking movie gets a standing ovation for some reason. I love those Europeans love to stand and clap.
I love it was
or boo.
Just
sometimes.
Last night that what's his name got a 10-minute standing ovation.
Francis Ford Coppola?
No, the guy from Yellowstone.
Oh, Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner, and then it's like moments later, it's like Rotten Tomatoes 20%. Everyone hated it.
Yeah, it's very interesting. They just like to clap there, I think.
They do. But this film in particular is not only pissing off Donald Trump himself, it's also pissing off one of the guys who financed its creation, because apparently he thought that this film was going to be a love letter to his favorite president. And once he realized that it was just portraying Trump as Trump, aka a rich piece of shit womanizer who openly flaunts the law, he demanded that they recut the film before its release. To which, luckily, they replied, no. And okay, for clarification, getting into the rest of the story, the investor's name is Dan Snyder, Not to be confused with Dan Schneider.
Oh.
That's the Nickelodeon creep. This is Dan Snyder, the former owner of the Washington Commanders football team, the guy who didn't want to rename the team because he didn't see what everyone was getting all upset about when it was called the Redskins.
Snyder.
Snyder, not Schneider. I know it's very confusing, but here's more background from Variety.
On Monday night, all eyes in Cannes will be on the launch of The Apprentice, the high-profile drama that stars Sebastian Stan as a young Donald Trump. The filmmakers and stars haven't done any press on the ground at Cannes ahead of the film's world premiere, and few have seen it, with plot details shrouded in mystery. But one person who has seen it is Dan Snyder, the billionaire former owner of the Washington Commanders, who is an investor in The Apprentice, and he isn't happy. Behind the scenes, a nasty battle has played out between the Snyder-backed company Kinematics and the filmmakers over the creative direction of the film. Sources say Snyder, a friend of Trump's who donated $1.1 million to his inaugural committee and Trump victory in 2016 and $100,000 to his 2020 presidential campaign, put money into the film via Kinematics because he was under the impression that it was a flattering portrayal of the 45th president. Snyder finally saw a cut of the film in February and was said to be furious.
What the hell is this? And I paid for it?
Oh, no!
Oh, he's going to be really upset when he sees this and sees my name on it.
Kinematics' lawyers were enlisted to fight the release of The Apprentice, and the cease and desist letters began flying.
Now, essentially, the company, despite being backed by Snyder, are under no obligation to abide by his demands. And he wasn't the only person or entity invested in this fucking thing. So, oh well. Also, and I've been waiting the whole story to say this, I cannot wait until all the Trump fans, all the MAGA heads are now demanding the Snyder Cut be released. The one that makes...
Oh, fuck!
We want the Snyder Cut of the Donald Trump film.
The Dan Snyder
cut.
Cut.
One, yeah, the Dan Snyder one, the one that makes Trump look amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited for this movie. Sebastian Stan's a great actor.
Yeah.
I could see him pulling it off.
Well, by the time this video goes up, the film will have already premiered, and it goes to Cannes, it gets picked up for distribution. It'll be out at some point later this year, probably. But despite only a handful of people having seen the film by the time this airs, the Trump campaign has already threatened to sue the filmmakers.
The campaign?
Yes.
Not Trump himself?
Well, he does business through many entities.
I guess so.
Elliot. So, quote, we will be filing a lawsuit to address the blatantly false assertions from these pretend filmmakers, the Trump campaign's chief spokesperson, Stephen Chung, said in a statement to Variety. This garbage is pure fiction, which sensationalizes lies that have been long debunked. As with the illegal Biden trials, this is election interference by Hollywood elites who know that President Trump will retake the White House and beat their candidate of choice because nothing they have done has worked. Chung's statement continues, this film is pure malicious defamation, should not see the light of day, and doesn't even deserve a place in the straight-to-DVD section of a bargain bin at a soon-to-be-closed discount movie store. It belongs in a dumpster fire. He's kind of hyping it up. They should use that as the promotional material on the film.
You know, I think they probably will. Yeah. If they know anything about marketing, this is a great idea.
I think that would potentially happen, but apparently...
Is this even going to see wide release before the election?
I don't know, but apparently this is from what I've heard, a very serious take on Trump as a very bad person.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where he actually abuses one of his ex-wives.
Yeah, which was that's in the court record.
Yes, so imagine this Dan Snyder guy being like, they're probably going to talk about how Trump's great and he built that wall totally and everything, right?
No, his dead ex-wife, she said that he...
beat and raped her.
Yes.
And that is apparently in the movie.
I mean, if it happened and you're telling the story of that period of his life, it seems pretty important.
Mm-hmm.
But let's round out today's episode with something that is not Trump-related. But hit on another theme of the story that we like to cover, disappointing children.
Yeah.
We love it. The Glasgow Willy Wonka experience was the most recent example of trying to cash in on an experience for children, only to turn their dreams into nightmares. But it happens all the time, all over the world. We just got another new example of kids being disappointed and frightened by lackluster events based on popular IP. A Bluey event in Las Vegas was ruined when kids were upset by the character just being a guy in pajamas with a full beard hanging out of Bluey's face.
Yeah, it wasn't even a real costume.
That's not Bluey, no!
It wasn't even like a rented costume. It was literally a onesie. And it looked like a makeshift Bluey head, but it wasn't covering anything. It was like, what do they call them, like a kigurumi? Where you put the hood up?
Yeah, that's not Bluey. They couldn't get like a mascot costume?
Well, so, okay.
Call up your local furry.
This is actually, it's both people. It's both the event, because it was at like a bar or something. It's their fault for trying to do a fucking Bluey event.
It was not an official event.
No, but it's the parents' fault, because everyone just saw like Bluey event. They're like, oh, we can go get drunk and the kids can have someone run around and do something. Let's all go. So they thought like a couple people were gonna show up, and like hundreds showed up. And they're like, we're here for the officially licensed Bluey event that you promised.
Yeah.
When that wasn't the case.
Well, hopefully this hurts Bluey, because it's teaching American children to speak with an Australian accent. And I can't fucking have
the funniest possible outcome.
Can't have that.
Here's Kotaku with more. Dirt Dog Las Vegas earlier this month advertised a special Bluey-themed hangout on May 11th featuring the hit Disney Plus show streaming on TVs, free face painting, games, desserts, and most importantly, Bluey herself.
Wait, Bluey's a girl?
I guess so, waving to kids and posing for pictures. As local broadcast affiliate Fox 5 reports, the event exploded on Facebook with thousands of RSVPs, only for each family who actually showed up and waited in lines out the door to be met with the crushing disappointment of some dude in a Bluey tracksuit wearing a printed tarp hood on his head.
Oh, hello, children. It's me, Bluey.
It's me, your favorite Australian sheepdog cat, Bluey. Now, we're doing 2-for-1 appetizers and $1 margaritas. Yeah, get the parents in here and you kids stay out here and play with the giant Jenga.
He continues, I was mad, one little girl told Fox 5. We could see his beard. He looked unexpected. One mother told the news outlet that the kids were unsettled by the obvious imposter. That's not Bluey. The obvious imposter, and some were visibly upset or crying on their parents' shoulders. The event's Facebook page quickly filled up with warnings. Do not go. I repeat, do not go, wrote one person. I got there and there were moms already coming out saying how bad it was, wrote another. I went over and saw the employees that have onesie on. Photos showed an average-looking sports bar filled to the brim with kids while the Bluey in question stood behind a folding table. Some parents shared pictures of proper Bluey costumes the bar could have rented, while one lone individual commented, it was a free event, stop whining.
They're right. You know what? They're right.
Yeah.
It's the meme of the guy standing up. Hey, you know what? This was a free event.
Yeah,
Shut up.
The Willy Wonka one was like, it was
$50.
It was like $50 per person for like, so you have a right to be pissed off about that. You're showing up at a fucking sports bar in Las Vegas for free. That's on you. Las Vegas is the home of the grift, the home of the swindle.
Yeah, you learned a valuable lesson, and actually your kids learned a valuable lesson too.
Anyway, here at the bar, we are truly sorry this event wasn't the expected experience, Dirt Dog posted on Facebook in the aftermath. We hope to repair our relationship with all of you. The comments were eclectic. One woman posted a before and after picture of her daughter to illustrate her soul-crushing disappointment. Another wrote, I just hope the staff member that was in that onesie all day got extra compensation for the nightmare that was not his fault. Well, at least they were willing to, not cast the blame on the performer.
I appreciate that there were some level-headed people.
Yeah.
I think that getting like the picture of like, okay, look really disappointed. We're gonna get a picture to get angry online about. It's like you're showing up to a fucking sports bar with your kids. Like,
you want the Bluey experience, you just gotta drive like hour or so out of town, find a cattle farm. Gonna be full of real life Blueys.
Yeah.
Nipping at the heels of cows. And nipping at your children's heels if they get close enough. Trust me, that's the life I live every day.
He's got his own Bluey, folks.
I have my own Bluey.
And then after we filmed Weekly Weird News, we had an update. We included the clip in the video, but the update was that for all of his showboating, Rudy Giuliani, they fucking served his ass at their last second because they were following his live. He was live streaming and he was basically
catch me if you can. Also, I'm right here celebrating my birthday at this location.
And they did catch him and they served him.
Yeah. At his own birthday party.
Yeah.
His own 80th birthday party. Like, that's just
so sad.
You fucked up in life if you're getting served.
You should be like.
Also, he live stream. Like, you're live streaming your birthday.
At 80, you should be taking your grandchildren to a Bluey-themed party at a sports bar.
Yeah.
Not hanging out, getting served.
Or just taking your grandchildren down to the dog track. Oh, you like dogs?
Pick a number.
Yeah, I like dogs too. Let's go. I think we got something in common, Junior.
Hey, you hear that trumpet? Now you can tell your mom we went and saw a band. That's what we did, right?
Yeah.
I'll get you a candy bar on the drive home.
Oh, no more candy. Sorry,
Actually,
I'm ruined.
Actually, Grandpa's broke. Can you drive?
Hey, you got any money, kid? Oh, no.
Ah, jeez. Anyways, you aren't in the market for a couple bags of coffee, are you? I gotta sell all this coffee. Woo! Anyways, that's it for today's episode. We will be back with some tech news, and there's certainly some tech news because apparently Scarlett Johansson was not happy about the fact that they used her voice.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah. So we'll be back with that, but if you somehow missed it, more videos are going to pop up. In the meantime, please like the video. You guys are doing such a good job. We're so proud of you. I love when I say like the video and I scroll through and I see how many people have liked it.
Oh, they did. Thank God.
I'm so proud of you. You're wonderful. Thank you for liking the video.
You're a good son.
Leave a comment down below. Talk about your favorite Bluey experience and whatever else we talked about today. And we'll see you soon. The videos are up there now. Weekly Weird News and News Dump. Check them out and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Commandeer the capture zones. Keep the enemy
An
out.
artist that I guess Bosch's friend. The comments. People never find out who they are until you put their backs against the wall. So true. Love the concept. So interesting. Yeah, amazing question.
What if he provided the comments to a service that like generates them into YouTube? So he gave them a bunch of comments and then
Now we don't
they
know
did.
that. Just to be clear,
I said, what if?
we don't know this thing. Yeah.
What
Said,
doesn't
what if?
make
And
sense.
then they do copy paste.
Yes, if something's gonna. What doesn't make sense to me is that there doesn't make sense for it to be a colon there, anyways.
Look how many
if you
there
read
are.
the comment, it doesn't make. There would never be one of those there.
That one I only showed 3, but here's a whole bunch more. The script is never written the way you want. The script.
And Ethan is right. It doesn't make sense.
Thanks, bro.
I feel like I've seen a lot of comments in other languages in the first episode that I'm not seeing now. That's where my theory came from. But again, just a theory.
Just a theory. But this person said the script. What a great interview, honest and raw. Now this tells me it's a bot, because what human beings writing that shit? Love the concept, so interesting. I mean, look at all these, you guys. How do you make a vision come to life? Yes, amazing question. Are you fucking serious right now? Do you think it's possible that... I've been wondering what's his angle with all this. Is it possible, and again, I don't know, this is all speculation. I don't know anything about his intentions or if he's involved in any of this. But hypothetically, could he have looked at ours? He constantly mentions how we're 5 views and comments and pay people to edit. Does he think that we're just faking our audience? That he thinks he can do the same thing?
Maybe.
That like, this is all just a facade. There's no one actually watching right now.
Yeah, and if you are watching, just know
he has
you're the only one. Yeah,
it's just you.
It's just you.
Chat, am I real? Somebody else? No. Thank you to all the members. Wow, thank you guys so much. So many great members and memberships rolling in. Thank you guys so much. And remember, if you have YouTube Premium, you get a free membership. Dude, Bella Simmons, you're stacked. Thank you.
Bella.
She said HTML SQL injection is very frequent and easy to pull off. This is some lazy ass shit. I guess maybe that's how she made all of her cheddar cheese. She's probably a badass programmer. Hacker. She's probably a hacker.
Like Angelina Jolie.
Right. I liked that movie when I was a kid. I haven't watched it in a while.
It was sick. It's
was
gotta
sick.
be awful. I haven't watched it since I was a kid. It's probably so fucking bad. It's probably funny, to be honest.
I have grown up with Mega Man.
It's the
what
the drink
happened?
cam.
Why did he do that? Why did you do that, Ian?
No, that's the drink cam. We cut to that when you take a sip.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You like beer, Senator?
Oh, is this like a Ryan Kavanaugh? Where even is that camera? Hey, bring the shot back.
I can't. I'm sorry.
When did this happen?
Can't do it. Sorry.
This is what's the joke?
Yo, it's the night before Thanksgiving, right? It's the biggest drinking night of the year.
I don't know. I just thought it would give some cinematic zhuzh.
It is, yeah. I mean,
go to take a sip.
It does offer a certain je ne sais quoi
One
to the
step
production.
closer to Jay Shetty.
Yo, yeah, Jay Shetty's got those angles. Okay, good work, guys.
Nice.
Wow.
Too slow. Got to work on your switching skills, brother.
A fade out might not work.
So that's it. I thought that was pretty great. My favorite part was the HTML in the comments.
Oh, we can't, maybe, unfortunately. I guess we could show the screenshot.
Whatever, I'm sick of him. He was in another commercial. With like all
it got claims when we checked the Shetty thing earlier.
Yeah, this is just a screenshot. It's J-Lo's new movie. He was in it.
He's on a council with your boy Post and Neil Smoke DeGrasse.
Wait, was this a Super Bowl ad?
No, it's J-Lo's movie.
Bro, give me a break. Stop inviting him everywhere.
Didn't he officiate their wedding or something? Or what was there was like, or he was just there?
I heard something about that. Yeah, I think he officiated it.
He must be really good at just like riding people. Like, you remember how Uri Geller was like best friends with like Michael Jackson? Yeah. And people would get close to him just by like, just being the fakest, lamest dick riders. That must be what Jay Shetty's like with all these celebs.
Yeah, confirmed. Yeah, Jay Shetty officiated Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez's wedding.
Of course, someone with a back tattoo like that would invite Jay Shetty to officiate.
It's true.
What are we looking at here? Here is his Social Blade stats for Failure Podcast.
Yeah, I just noticed he lost 9,000
what
subs
the fuck?
yesterday.
Oh, he gained 215,000
views.
Oh, that's views.
Oh.
In a day.
Here's his subs, though. Look at this.
Explosive growth. I wish we could get growth like that.
30,000 on Saturday he got in one day.
Unbelievable.
You know,
some people are not.
I just noticed he lost 9,000 subs, and I mean that usually the other cases when I've seen people lose subs like that out of nowhere. That's when YouTube clears for bots. I'm obviously not saying that. That's what happened here, but I just say that usually happens. And views disappearing. That's very reminiscent.
Oh, but that's not a lot. It's only 10%.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how many subs he has now. But
It's like
also,
80.
he lost, so it's more than 10%.
Yeah.
So he lost 50,000 views too. Do we know if video was removed?
I think it's bot. I think it also could be botted views from getting removed, honestly. But that's my opinion, and I don't know.
Well, what would be easy to determine if a video was removed, no?
Yeah, I'm going to his channel right now.
There's no video removed.
So
it was just the 3 episodes on there, right? So, and they're all there.
Yeah.
So how could that many views disappear? It's strange.
Bro, how do you get... Wow. Wow. Okay, I gotta figure out how. I need to talk to him. How are you doing this, man? I need to learn from him.
Right.
He's obviously a super media, social media guy, expert. Anyway, thanks. In other news, the lead singer, the front man of Creed, has stepped up to the plate, and he has followed his #1 fan in the world.
Wait, Ethan, what do you want to eat? We're all waiting.
I just want God, bro. I just want Creed. All right, I'm gonna open the menu, so don't show it. Okay. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Zach. Well, let me set this up.
Okay.
Creed, actually, the guy followed Zach. What the fuck is going on here?
It's fucking.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
That's like some childhood dream shit right there.
What the heck?
Yeah, that's like. It was very, very odd.
That's one of your favorite bands, right?
Yeah, if not my favorite.
What
band.
the?
Stop. No,
Zach.
I'm not.
He said that before. He's being serious.
It's like it was really weird because we were talking about it with Jeff. And he was talking about how he reached out to Scott for something in the video, and I'm like, when I was Instagram, I'm like, oh, I don't follow this guy. And then I woke up this morning and I see that he followed me. I'm like, oh my fucking god.
Wow.
Like it's fucking amazing. So, you know, Scott, I fucking love you, dude. You know?
Wait, he definitely saw it then because Jeff was talking about him.
Yeah.
The only other person he follows in our world is Jeff.
Right.
He saw Zach writing for him.
Wow.
Here it is. Here's the mention that Zach, and by the way, if you're watching this, Scott, Zach has always supported you.
Yes.
Zach has always spoken in your defense. And I have to say, Scott, I'm sorry in a sense that it's gotta be tough to like go everywhere on the internet and everyone just memeing on you like that. Oh, fuck them. I get that all over YouTube, and I know how bad it hurts. I know how it hurts. And I don't even have God to comfort me. But here's Zach defending him quickly.
You're a liar.
Zach loves that one, eh?
Call me a liar. Marry this woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have any Creed sound bites back there? I thought
we can always sing it if you want.
I forbid Creed. No.
Creed is the greatest. Closer.
Stop.
Hold me now.
This dude is singing about Jesus. How serious am I supposed to take that?
Bro, the Creed doesn't have a bad song.
So I covered his song because I use it at the end of my documentary. Just to end it with like a silly song, stupid song. Like I changed the lyrics a little bit, but he like okayed it for me.
Oh, for real?
To use, yeah.
What a fucking legend, dude.
I just DM'd him and he answered.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's actually super cool.
He's sober too, and he's big on trying to help people with sobriety. So
that's super cool.
A bit about that. Yeah,
that's dope.
He was just in a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah,
killing it.
Good for you, Creed.
Fucking Scott's.
That's dope. Okay, I'm in. I like Creed after that. We're Bro Creed podcast. And I'll say this. Now that I know Scott's watching, I've always liked Creed.
Scott, you know, just come take me higher, man. Come to my show at the Echoplex, dude. Formally invited.
If Scott's watching, which he is, Zach, what is it that you want, if there's a message?
Thank you for the years of wonderful music and forming my childhood and crafting my musical ability. And let's jam, dude. Let's fucking jam. Let's sit down and write a song. Let's do it.
What is this article, Dan? Should I read it?
Yeah, go ahead. Here, I put it on screen.
Something about from Rolling Stone, Scott Stapp and 311 Brawl.
311?
311?
Ethan.
It literally is 311. It's
311.
I don't fucking care what they call themselves. 311.
Amber is a color.
I thought you were a fan.
I don't know what the fuck 311 is.
Yes, you do.
What?
But all I know is Scott Snap rules.
You are such a liar, dude.
It's Scott Stapp.
How many times have you made Amber is the color of my energy jokes?
Okay, so they made one song and I'm supposed to know everything about them? My energy's red right now, actually, because I'm pissed.
Scott.
Speaking of which.
Hey, Gabe, you like Creed?
It looks good.
You like Creed, Gabe?
Creed? I love Creed.
Oh.
Really?
It's like the spin-off of Rock.
Yeah, it's about Apollo Creed.
Do you have
Apollo Creed?
Oh, okay.
Right, he just passed away last week. Rip to Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers, I feel sorry about that.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Gabe, did you have a Valentine this year?
Not really, but I'm prepared if you put me on The Bachelor with
That's an idea.
Wait, so are you interested in applying for Jeff or being a bachelor like Jeff?
A partner with Jeff. I'm prepared to take them to dinner and stuff, serenade them, and give them some unconditional love.
So, Gabe, you guys are a team. You guys would go on all your dates together. You would do the rose ceremonies together and all like that.
Sure. And hopefully someone will come up to me and say, will you be my partner in crime, share my love and all that stuff?
Amazing.
That would be really true love.
Yeah.
That's inspiring, man. I love your outfit and happy Valentine's Day to you, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Happy late Valentine's Day.
You know what, Gabe? It's Valentine's Day every day you call in, man.
That's what it is, trying to make some love, trying to serenade whoever wants to go with me. Fuck.
Fuck.
I got dinner. I got you movies.
Gabe, describe to me what, in your opinion, is the perfect first date.
The perfect first date would be someone to get to know each other. It's kind of like, well, a full interview, and then to see what we like, dislike, and all stuff, what agreements we have and stuff. That's like a first date. It's kind of like a pre-interview to see if it's perfect for me.
And what would you guys do? Would you guys do any activities or just kind of sit together?
We'll start with going for a simple lunch or dinner, and then maybe go see a movie. That's about it.
Nice. Maybe ice cream afterwards?
Ice cream, sure.
You pick her up, or do you meet her there?
Well, usually I'll just meet her there, or maybe on a second or third, if it works out, maybe pick her up.
So is picking up the girl on the first date no longer kosher because people are like, because it's like a scary world?
Sounds kind of scary.
People offer it, but
it's better just to be in the safe side.
Yeah, especially if you don't know the person.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I was dating, it seemed like that was the thing to do, was to pick up the girl. But now I see it's like, I'll meet you there. And then I wonder too if even asking is a bad idea.
Yeah, asking is first. I'd say second or third, maybe pick up. But first, just to meet.
It's not that you don't want to pick her up. You're respecting her boundaries.
Sure, you gotta do that. That's the basics of a relationship, is to respect people's boundaries and stuff.
You're a good man. You really are a good man. You're a catch, buddy. You are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How you doing?
You get any Valentine's Day cameo requests?
Oh, tons of it. Tons of it.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Thank you for keeping the rose in the shot the whole time. That was really tremendous. Love that about you.
Thanks.
Well, Gabe, listen. Thank you for calling. Thank you for spreading the love on this wonderful Valentine's week. And
serenade the loves.
You're a real catch, buddy. You're gonna make someone really happy. All right. You're gonna make someone really happy, Gabe. All right. Gabe. White Claw, or not White Claw, Gabe. Uncle Gabe. He's on Cameo. You do racial slurs on Cameo, right?
What?
I was trying to break him. I was just trying to break him. I got you, Gabe. But just to be clear, you do not do racial slurs on Cameo.
Oh no, I can't do that.
On or off Cameo.
We don't get in trouble.
Yeah. Don't. But anyway, Gabe, have a great weekend. It's always a pleasure to see you, buddy.
All right.
Have a great weekend.
You're the best. Thanks for brightening up our week, buddy. Take care, okay? We'll see you next time.
All right.
All right. That's Uncle Gabe. He's on Cameo, people. I gotta pee. I've been drinking like a lot.
Yeah, I gotta go use the bathroom.
So, man.
I'm not taking a pause to pee.
You were gonna order your food.
I told, you got it, right? Yeah. But you're going to the bathroom
all
too?
happening.
Oh.
Camera just glitched out. Oh.
Wait, what? What did you say?
Your camera just glitched out for a moment.
So what's this article, this 311 bullshit?
Scott Stapp. Listen, we were just talking about, Jeff was just applauding him for being sober now and helping people. The reason why is because Scott Stapp early in his career was a raging drunk that made a fool of himself many times, and he once got into a fight with the members of the band 311 over nothing, and he ended up getting pinned by his own girlfriend to break up the fight.
That's rock and roll, Rich.
She's a baddie, whoever she is.
That's rock and roll, dude.
But yeah, this was a long time ago, and
well, he
probably don't mean to take a cheap shot at.
It doesn't. He probably doesn't appreciate bringing this up. It's from 2005. And I'll say this.
I miss understood and thought that you were a 311 enjoyer and thought that that would maybe be a funny new wrinkle to add to the
311.
Yeah, you didn't even know they were called 311.
I know 411. That's
dude.
The 411's information.
Your energy isn't amber at all, bro.
I told you it was red. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Whoa, red is the color of your energy. But to be real, like 311 or whatever you call them.
Stop pretending like you don't know.
I swear.
Liar, bro. You're a liar.
You know, they're not as hard as Creed. Like Creed would beat their ass.
That's for fun.
No, I mean, yeah.
The Amber people are gonna beat him. Give me a break.
Scott Stapp, he's sexy. He's
They have more than just Amber, dude. They have what's the drugstore or something? You know what I'm talking about?
No, but name another.
Beautiful Disaster. Right.
Name another song from 311.
Beautiful Disaster.
Okay, whatever. Never heard of that one. Hum it.
Love song.
You have heard that other one.
Hum it.
Light him up.
Me or him?
Anybody.
Well, it has a few parts. There's like the hard part at the beginning where it's like. Yeah, that's it. That's the rip. Yeah, you know that one?
Beautiful Disaster.
I don't.
Wait, I'll play half a second of it and you'll be like, oh yeah, that song.
Go ahead, Dan. Dan's a huge 311 fan.
That's the funny thing is I'm really not.
Lead singer of 311. Reach out to follow Dan.
But Scott, I fucking love you, dude. Just want to say that.
Love you, dude.
Scott, you want to call in? This is a Creed-friendly show.
Oh.
We support you here on the H3 podcast.
Okay, you ready?
Message.
I'm only gonna play a little bit.
Okay.
Just say, hey, bro, thanks for the follow. I love you. You're my favorite band ever.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're a rock and roller.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dan.
Crank it, Zach. You ready?
Yep.
I don't fucking with that shit.
Dude, that's a good song.
I don't know it.
Yeah, you know it.
You definitely
You
do.
know it.
You know it.
Play another piece. Okay, stop. Yo, that's kind of a fun game where you just play like half a second throughout.
Sam introduced me to
Yeah, we were recently playing around with something like that.
What is
like a website?
It's a hurdle.
Hurdle. Yeah.
I get everyone right. Like, that's my shit.
What the fuck is? Wait, what? What's Hurdle?
It's like Wordle, but for songs, like what you just described. You get like 5 seconds.
It plays like a little snippet of the song, and you have to identify it.
Starts with like 2 seconds, and then you can, if you don't know, you can skip and get 5. Or
Can we test his knowledge now? I'd love that. That'd be fun.
Well, here's the thing: it's all copyright music.
But if it's short enough.
Give me the rock hurdle, Dan.
Okay, we'll go to rock hurdle.
I gotta pee though.
There's a Taylor Swift hurdle, specifically. She has her own.
Oh, Lena's a Swiftie, and you are too. Or who's
Ian
Swifties
is.
here?
Ian.
I mean, I have stolen Swiftie Valor, but Ian's a like legit.
You think you could do that, Ian?
I don't know the new stuff.
Okay.
It's been a cruel summer.
Zombie is in danger.
But at any rate, I'm gonna go pee.
Liberate all zones
And
from enemy
that's all I have to
occupation.
say about that.
Well, cool. Right on.
I'll be right back.
Let's play some hurdle in the meantime. Turn the volume up and tap to start the track. Play. Take it away.
Any moment now.
Here we go, website. Hit me. Drop it.
Is this a rock hurdle?
Drop the beat. Yeah, the website's.
All right, Zach, go ahead and guess.
Oh, you think we are DDoSing them unintentionally right now? But I don't know how like popular this website is. We might be fucking them up with the traffic. I'm trying a different browser. Oh!
I didn't finish.
Am I not turned up?
No, you're turned up.
Turned up, dude. We're getting fucking turned up today. Yo!
But Scott, I love you, dude. Love you, Scott.
I always feel
Are you
so
sure it's not
lost.
just really quiet?
They do.
I always feel so lost when you guys were talking about bands, movies. I don't know.
You're out of it. You don't know.
Dan and I will put you on to some good music.
Yeah. All right.
No, it is playing something. I think it's just really quiet.
Is it really? I don't hear
I
anything.
just hear noise.
Well, rip to the hurdle.
We can do it another time.
We'll figure it out.
But yeah, it was really cool.
Whoa! Amber's a car. I think those are 2 songs.
Yeah, we're morphing them together.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's get to. There's been a fuckload of donuts.
A lot of gifted subbies today. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Put some respect on 311, Ethan, says Betty. You don't have $50.
Wow.
For the sake of 311 slander. Thank you, Betty. He's not here right now, but I'll pass him along. I'll make sure he knows.
What a beautiful disaster.
What a beautiful disaster. Somebody just donated 50. Oh, yeah, Mia. History fam, it's Mia the neuroscientist. Yo! Thank you for watching my video. I am a for-real neuroscientist and I study genetic epilepsies to help discover effective treatments for affected children. Please donate it to cure epilepsy if you can. Peace and love. Oh, that's awesome. I believe Mia. I don't want to say the wrong person, but wasn't she the one who did the whole thing with? She went into great detail about killing somebody.
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
I think so. I remember them saying that.
She was the one that said that she would go 2 states over to the steel mill and grind down.
Yeah, I think
the knife. You don't remember this, Olivia? No. Murder. She was joking, but she was saying like, if he had come home and he had killed somebody, what would you do? She was the one that had like the acid ready to go.
That was Mia.
That was Mia? Okay, I remember. Well, your video was hilarious. Yeah. Thank you, Mia. Murder. $20 from Olivia the Hater. I think that Brad is buying the bots for him because he feels bad for Ryan and wants to leave him. Wants him to leave him and Jessica alone, possibly.
It's a beautiful theory, actually.
It seems like they actually do get along.
Yeah, they love each other.
Yeah. I would think that Brad would just be like annoyed with him, but I don't know. Especially if that account really is Brad, then he's like going out of his way to stand up for Ryan and stuff. So
he's gentle with him.
Yeah. He's gentle with him.
Yeah.
Still a banger episode without content court. Peace and that's not peace and love. That's heart and fire emoji.
There's somebody that keeps asking if they can get.
Yeah, Ethan. Sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, I was gonna say there's somebody that keeps asking if they can get a Teddy Fresh phone case. There is one in the works, so it will come out sometime this year. I can't remember when.
Big news! Oh boy!
Thank you.
Just a bunch of gifted up here if you want to go through those real quick.
The gifted?
Yeah.
The gifted? We have 20 from... How would you pronounce that, love? With the umlauts. There's a bunch of umlauts going on here.
Maybe Gulsum?
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 Gulsum. I don't know.
Thanks, Gulsum. Gulsum.
Do you think that's Turkish?
I think that's...
Turkish, probably?
Turkish?
Gulsum. Maybe. I don't know.
I would just assume German, but maybe not. Maybe you're right. Oh, it is. Yeah, I see Turkish come up. I think you're right.
I was giving Turkish.
Then,
Gulsum.
A couple of notes for you. Then one is your camera is apparently out of focus. They're saying.
I got it.
And 2, what is the little hot dog on your mic?
The guy who made the Mega Man action figure for me. He had sent along a bunch of other stuff. This is a hot dog of the little lizard from one of my favorite bands, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
So cute.
He called it the King Glizzy and the Wizard.
Oh my God, that is so cute.
He's a Dan fan. He's a Dan fan.
Well, I think he is also a fan of that band. More so than him being a Dan fan.
All right, let's move it on. We got looking at top of the show stuff. If there's anything worth getting here, because I want to just get into the meat.
There was some good stuff in there.
Which ones?
Sorry.
Oh, I mean, there's the Jimmy Lee on Tiger Belly, which we never talked about.
That's a bigger commitment, though. I was thinking more of some of these quick ones.
This person did a super cut of it. Let's see how long's the super cut.
I noticed that you skipped over the call out for your bald spot. That is currently the top post on the subreddit. You skipped right over that one.
All right, I'll open it.
It's the top post on the sub.
I don't have a bald spot, first of all. Okay. You should say, have you learned nothing? You have to say, alleged bald spot, bro. Okay, first of all, this is just curly hair hate. I tried to gel my hair to look nice. I got fucked up curly hair. And also, it's probably a thing with the lighting, because look at, bring a camera. Go, bring a camera, AB. You're gonna, you want to do this?
I can do it with my phone.
Yeah, if you want to call me out,
you bald dome
then
bastard.
bring the fucking camera and come look at my
I
scalp.
also wonder if it's the white hair that's creating an illusion of more.
I'm laughing right now, yeah.
I think it was the hair product they gave you as well.
AB did this to me.
Fucking bald bitch.
Not bald.
White hair shaming? Excuse me?
Let's read the comments. I'll imagine the hairline stays the same. Just a strong, thick border of hair all around its scalp, like rings of Jupiter. Like a friar look? He's jealous of Dan? That's not true. That's lupus? Okay, that might be true. All right. Now go ahead. Now what side is this? Look how full my hair is, dude. It's like a chia pet on crack, dude.
Okay.
Well, shit. Yeah, go ahead. I saw some skin. Yeah, I mean, if you spread it like this.
That's his cowlick.
No, it's not. What do you want me to do, Dan?
I don't want you to do anything. I just want the fruit.
I mean, you want to check the other side? All right.
It's not me that called you out.
Well, you brought it up. I was ready to move on. Dan goes, well, I noticed you skipped this.
2,000 upvotes.
Bro, you don't.
Some obscure post. 2,000 upvotes.
Is this because you don't have hair?
Yeah.
I'm growing my hair back, people. I was bullied because I had.
Dan, I would give you some if I could, bro.
People are asking, what is this filter? Yeah, what is that? Is that just your camera?
I think it was just the white balance was getting all fucked up because
really
of
blue.
Did it look
the LED lights that are
This
right by the seat there.
It looks like you guys are checking me for life. Nasty. All right, thank you, Dan. I'm innocent. I got so much damn hair. Giving it away.
You know what I mean?
So, yeah, the supercut's 11 minutes long, so I guess we should kick that can down the road a little bit.
That's pretty long.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Oh, got it.
And let's get into the Keffel stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about what's in the thumbnail for once.
Yeah. So the Keffels, she made a video about me. She had been... she had made, like, tweets and talked about me in live streams. And she was like, I will put everything I have on the line to defend Vosh consumption of child pornographic drawings. She said, here's where I will make my stand.
On Lolly Hill.
Lolly Hill is where I choose to die. She's like 300, you know, where they like, here's the spot, except it's on Lolly Hill. 300. Except they're not defending, what's the name of the city? Sparta. They weren't defending Sparta. She's just defending drawn child pornography. Kind of the same, sort of the same righteous battle. So there's this video that I want to look over, some of my favorite parts. But there's also other really fun Bosch updates. Like this one guy who said he's a self-admitted pedophile, Mr. Girl. He got upset that he was demanding a retraction, but I don't think I went far enough in my description of him, frankly.
Really?
So, yeah. But you're not gonna believe this shit. There's just like a whole group of these people out there, and it's blowing my fucking brain out. And I know I'm not the only one. I know y'all are just... And it's not like I want to keep talking about this like so much, but we can't let the pedos win. They need to be snubbed out, grounded to dust. You know what I mean? There's no space for ethical consumption of CP, drawn or otherwise. So cute. He even sleeps in the cutest spot.
Yeah, so funny.
Funny boy. So, let's just start from the top, I guess. We'll have a lot of fun here, talking about our dear friend Keffels. What's that about? So Keflos starts her video by saying, I implied her and Tipster are pedos. Let's take a look.
I think that people need to...
Bro, the way that she makes... The way that she, like, symbolizes when she talks is so annoying.
It is very hard to watch.
Is this it?
Well, let me show you. It's like the chair moves up and down. Like, what the fuck does that even have to do with talking? Maybe just move the mouth. Like, what is this dumb shit? Look.
To be careful about false allegations of pedophilia.
Wait,
And in
this is
fact,
her
This is her channel.
character?
Yeah.
Her
I didn't know that this was her thing, but, like, why the chair moving up and
It's kind
down?
of ironic considering the topic. It looks like
A child?
Yeah.
It does, actually. I mean, that's a child in, like, a dog outfit, right? And, I mean, geez, they can't even reach the bottom. They're just bobbing up and down in the chair, which is obviously way too big for them. Kids need special barber chairs.
I've never seen her videos.
Why is she a barber?
This is new to me.
This is all bananas. So it's called Bosch and the Hypocrisy of Ethan Klein. All right. Oh, and by the way,
I mean, the title is so serious, and then this is the footage. I didn't realize.
her video is serious.
Yeah.
Just so you know why we're doing this. This has 27,000 views, not a lot, but after 8 hours, but 22.4 thousand likes. This is a community of people out here who need to be ground into torse glue, like no space. We don't want you. There's no space for y'all to be. You guys need to go back to the shadows and talk about CP, Tron CP there. You know what I mean? Don't do it on YouTube. We don't want to see it. We don't like it. Remember the Venn diagram? Adult, human, consenting, we love. We love. Everything else, and I mean everything else, we do not love it. Let me go to the beginning, yeah. She starts this motherfucker off with in memory of Tony Winchester, who was the RS Glory and Gold.
Why bring him up? What the hell?
He, first of all, I'm speechless with that one.
Yeah.
Apparently, she mentions him in the video.
What?
She compares what I said to. Wait, what? Hold on. Let me catch up on some notes here.
You should basically compare the situation of.
I was out of frame.
Yeah, she was comparing us talking about someone on the show with false allegations. She was calling it false allegations and comparing it to the Tony situation, basically.
That is so different.
He's a friend of the show, and he's a dear friend, and he passed away of cancer recently.
So don't even.
And I spoke with the phone on him many times throughout that process, and we were friendly and we were close. And the fact that she's even trying to memorialize him by inserting him into a conversation about child pornography is fucking bananas. You know who's doing what Kim started? You, by inserting him in this conversation. But go ahead, dummy. Demon.
Here comes the baby.
Yahoo! She seems to be more of a stuffed animal, because I don't know what that means. But she falls off the chair. No limbs move.
Yahoo! Hello, everyone.
Was that her? Yeah.
That was Tony. That's Tony doing the walk.
I know, but who did that, Zach or her?
Oh, Zach.
Okay.
No, that wasn't me. Oh, wait, that was in the video? Yeah.
What a dumb fucking bitch. How dare you? I know it's Tony here. I can believe that.
Yeah, I just assumed that was
Yahoo!
Dude, you have no shame.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
I have a Yahoo, but it's not Tony.
I just assumed.
Yahoo! Right,
That was his trademark, the Tony. Whoa, man, that is dark.
It's just gross.
That is demon behavior. All right, go ahead, demon.
Hello, everyone. As I'm sure you're all aware, this has been quite a chaotic week for me. The situation has taken up a lot more time than I would have liked.
Are we seriously gonna sit and stare at this?
It's honestly the worst.
Can we put up a picture of her instead?
Yeah, or can we get when it's rolling some like ASMR,
Sand cutting, maybe.
ADHD stuff? Because this is not it. Keflos, and here I'm going to give you free advice because I care about creators. Anything but this. Put a still image.
Anything but this, please.
I think cutting between still images, like Too Lazy to Try, he just has a picture of George Costanza.
That's better.
And it works.
It honestly is better.
This is the worst thing.
I don't want to see a baby bouncing on a chair.
Yeah.
Did she say it's been a rough week for her?
She did say that, yeah.
Didn't she interject herself into this?
Yeah, nobody.
Absolutely.
That was a choice.
She continues to interject herself into this.
She likes it, I guess.
She's literally stepped out. Vosh was in front of a firing squad, and she stepped in front of him and said, no, he did nothing wrong.
From me first.
This man did nothing wrong. I will take his bullets. And they still shot, but those were armor piercing, and it killed them both. And a distant analogy. No, you know what I mean? Not in my, it's just an analogy. Nobody's doing a firing squad. I don't even own the gun. I do, but not a firing squad gun. It's a shotgun. It's not for a firing squad situation.
Yikes!
I'm just being transparent.
We can move on.
Because they usually use like muskets or rifles in that kind of scenario. Well, because they haven't done it in a while.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble. In big trouble.
Anyway, it's just an analogy. I don't wish anybody harm.
Speaking, you.
All right, Jordan. Thank you. Maybe he's right this time.
Did too.
Can I see the screen? Yeah.
As I've been trying to dedicate more time to working on my new channel, Scared
You
Away.
could go to the
Well, I
first
would-
timestamp.
Yeah, there's a lot of
This is a 40-minute video?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, Bella is $50 requesting kinetic sand over this video.
That's what I'm asking for.
Thank you, Bella.
I mean, if Bella says it.
Please cover it. Please. There you go.
I think that people
So we're going to
usually
the first stand. There we go. Okay, good.
Oh, I see.
Can you just put it over her avatar? So we don't
Yeah.
see the
Right in the
bouncing?
middle of the screen.
Yeah, that's better. That's much better.
A little bit bigger.
Yeah, bigger. That's good. Move it down a little bit.
There we go.
Perfect. The dog's gonna bounce downwards, so we need to be careful not to do this. That's gonna be annoying, but we'll see.
I think it's got enough coverage.
So here's the first time sent we have. Kepler says I implied that her and Tipster are pedos. Go ahead.
be careful about false allegations of pedophilia. And in fact, this was something that Ethan Klein knew all too well, because he rightfully put Keemstar on blast back in 2016.
That thumbnail's so good, by the way. So good. Legendary.
I saw some people saying, I didn't see it myself, but I saw people saying that the original title of this video was Content News Ethan Klein.
Bro, this is not a content. This is a dog. This is a one frame of a dog bouncing up and down. This is like a content fizzle. It's a content. You know, it's a content pop rock.
The first thing Sam ever did for the show. She made me.
Oh,
that's right.
I think it was the first thing.
Whoa.
Actually, no. There was another thing before that. I made I think it was a Trisha Bachelorette thumbnail or something like that. I think that was the first thing.
Were you freelancing or were you working for us?
Ian's ghostwriter, wasn't he?
I think it was Ian's ghostwriter, right?
Wait, what? I said.
What'd you say?
Oh, yes. Yeah, it was freelance.
Yeah, what do you guys mean Ian's ghostwriter?
That like she did it for Ian. Like Ian asked her for help.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Got it.
No, I always credited the brain.
Okay. No ghostwriters.
No ghostwriting, baby.
Yeah, chill.
We don't believe in ghostwriting.
Chill with the accusations.
Yeah, you literally.
Yeah, Dan.
They are perfect.
I think I said before, Dan. Her mic wasn't on. I was just trying to cover. No one was answering. That's why.
So, however, and I'll remind you guys, 8.3 million views is a lot. This video was immediately yellowed because of we talked in length, which I thought was absolutely crucial to the video, and I didn't want to cut it. There's a section about Etika, which involves heavy issues of unaliving stuff. And so it was on a mature rating. So I feel like if this one wasn't, it would have done crazy more. This is a great video.
I also think it might have been the greatest song ever written. Keemstar song.
Keemstar's a rat.
Nibble on
I
your
forgot about it.
Dude, we went all out on this fucking video.
Yeah.
And at the time, man, we had to.
We had to.
And it was great. It was great.
It was good to get it all out.
Me and Ian, dude, we were in the trenches for a long time planning that video.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the document.
The document was nuts, man. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good video if anyone wants to watch it.
For falsely accusing RuneScape Twitch streamer Tony Winchester of being a pedophile, resulting in years-long intense harassment.
He falsely accused an elderly streamer of being a convicted pedophile. Ugh. I mean, how does he ever even live this one down? And do you know what his evidence was? Wait for it. He looked like the guy in the photo. Yeah, that's it. Now, Keemstar likes to act like him and Tony are all good. But here's a clip.
Keffels, you understand what a moron you are, right?
Yeah, she included you explaining exactly why this is a totally different situation.
Totally.
Why did you include that clip?
What the fuck? Like
what?
You look like a moron. And this is what I'm saying. I find it suspicious that you all are so desperate to prove that Vosh did nothing wrong. It makes me wonder, frankly. Keemstar made up that this dude is a pedophile with zero evidence, zero backing, straight out of mist, out of the ether. You guys, on the other hand, are openly defending drawn child pornography. Vosh has it on his computer. We saw it. We saw it.
It's the reason
he admitted it.
Started talking about
He
it.
says
Keep saying it.
he literally went on camera and said, "I understand why people thought this was lolly, and also the artist is a lolly artist."
Yeah,
Are you really this dumb that you believe that this is comparable at all? To bring this beloved character into a conversation about CP? To do a memorial in the beginning? What the fuck?
He's also literally quoted saying everybody's jerked it to Lolly at some point.
He's on video saying...
We played that. He said that.
And then he said everybody's jerked it to Lolly, don't lie. And then he goes, anyone who's attracted to Lolly is attracted to children.
Right. Yeah, he did say
Yeah, he
both of
said
those
that
things.
too.
That's the one too.
So, Keppel, you want to retake this, you dummy? Why would you call us pedophiles?
Dumb.
You Keemstar just made it up about this guy. Yeah, and well,
The situation has changed. The capture
he
zone
didn't
is
have
moving.
any evidence, man. And unfortunately, Kathy, baby.
You dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That looks pretty dumb. Rest in peace, Tony, for real, though. He's a good dude. He's a cool guy. Dude loved RuneScape till the end. What a legend. Dedicated.
Play that shit day in and day out for
years.
Legend. Rhyming.
Yeah. That was always my idea when I was like a younger man of like, when I was playing WoW and EverQuest. I was like, man, when I'm old and retired, I just want to game hard.
game all day.
He did that.
He lived the dream.
He did that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
Keffels believes, yeah, we just talked about this. Ethan does not. Now, let me make something clear. I don't know if Keffels, Vosh, or Tipster are pedophiles.
Right.
And that's not something I would ever claim to know. I've been quite careful and intentional with the way I've worded things. You guys are defending drawn child pornography. Does that mean you're a pedophile? Well, according to Vosh's analysis, it does. I don't know that.
No pedo.
I don't know that. I don't know.
I never did.
I mean, the facts is this. Vosh consumes lolly. This is undisputed. This
And
is
also,
undisputed.
what we showed is us having an issue with all of these factors combined and all of the sentiments and stuff he said on show. Everything, when you combine it all together, it's creating an uncomfortable picture.
There's like 100 data points of evidence.
Yes.
And she goes, it's just the same thing as Keemstar making it up out of thin air. Dumb. You're dumb. You're so dumb. So, like, we know Vosh consumes drawn CP. And according to his own logic, that means he's attracted to kids. Now, what I know is that you guys are defending him. So that's where I'm suspicious of you guys. Thank you with peace and love. Ethan does not care about right or wrong. He only cares about making money, she says. That sounds a little anti-Semitic, if I'm going to be super hypersensitive about it. Because she says that I'm transphobic for, I don't even fucking know. I don't know if there's any followable logic there. But let's listen to this rampant anti-Semitism.
Just outright disgusting to me that Ethan Klein is willing to call people pedophiles seemingly without any consideration for the ramifications of his actions. And even more disgusting that he has put others on blast for doing the same thing that he is doing now. But of course, maybe over the years he stopped caring about right or wrong, as throughout most of his recent stream when he engaged in all of this vitriolic behavior, he made sure to let it—
I gotta say, dude, it's so much better with the way we're doing it, with the kinetic stand. It's so much better.
Hypnotized.
everyone know how much money he was making doing this.
And I'll tell you this, Vosh and friends, I am making money right now. And I hope that bothers you. I'm gonna make a ton of money right now, bro. And you know what? I don't give a fuck.
It's just so sad to see.
Yeah, it's sad. Anyway, guys, members, let's get going. We got free memberships. Everybody, if you've been a user of YouTube Music, YouTube Premium for 3 months, you get a free membership, guys. Let's get those gifted going. Let's get those donations going. Let's raise money against Drawn CP. Let's organize. And I will be benefiting individually, specifically from this situation. I'll be enriched and I'll be pleasured. Bad word. Bad, not pleasured, like just be. Okay.
Right. Wasn't thinking that.
And if I'm not mistaken, you were making that joke based on what Vaush said about how you didn't reach out to him because you just wanted to profit off the podcast.
Yes, it was already in a reply to you guys saying it.
Obviously, and like labored to the point of being like banging somebody over the head with how obviously dumb of a joke it is.
Yeah.
But again, if you think I'm doing this just to make money, well, okay, then
Tacoma wept.
I mean, yeah, I do. This is my job. I do an episode every 3 times a week, and I guess they're all to make money. I mean, it is my job.
You all do the same. We're all making.
I'd like to know, is monetization on this?
And I don't know what's the point.
I'll tell you this. I think a lot of people aren't covering this topic because they don't think that they're going to make money from it, because it's like literally about the worst topic you can discuss.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to make money, I think the good move would be to like skip this topic.
You have to cool it with the horse stuff, pal.
I can't post this stuff on social media, like TikTok.
Yeah.
Our biggest venue for getting a lot of views on social media, TikTok, can't post anything. And I've talked to like other clip channels on TikTok. They can't post anything because it immediately gets taken down. It's really just
not a moneymaker.
Not a moneymaker, yeah, it really isn't.
Wow, you're so dumb.
Except people are donating for the money suit right now.
Now we're making money.
$2.
Now
Judy for the money suit.
We were doing a joke, but now it's real. Now we're actually making money.
We're making the money suit.
And I hope
working on that.
I hope that you like Jakey Poo. What was his name? Jake Doolittle.
Jakey Poo.
I hope that Kev will figure out home with an Excel sheet counting every member and every dollar of donations receiving this episode.
Oh, all these donos coming in. Holy shit.
Well, let's go, people.
Gift from Sam.
Fund my money suit, man.
5 from Jaggy. Kylie, throwing one out there. Wow. Jessica, we see you.
This is me as fuck, dude. And I'll never stop giving props. I'm coming to you, to a city near you.
Well, fuck.
She's scared. She's scared. All right, go on, dummy.
What happened to the Ethan that was standing up for Tony Winchester? I mean, this is how Ethan reacted to me wanting to de-escalate this conflict, because I genuinely care about the people that are involved in this.
She says, I'll try giving him a call later to see if this can be sorted instead of becoming online blood sports. Well, listen, that's kind of my business. We're in a bloody business. And y'all just defended animated CP, so let's giddy up.
He even went as far as to say that he knew he was engaging in defamation and
Yeah, what are you trying to show?
I know I look kind of good in this. Kind of funny too. Giddy up.
I think we accidentally missed the very first timestamp, which I think is just important to show because that's what she's establishing as to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about Lolly Hill and why she says.
Okay, I'll go back to that after this one.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Encourage Vosh to sue him.
Vosh should legitimately sue Ethan for slander. Someone says, as nice as that would be, I doubt there's enough case to have a case. No, there is. The amount of slander and false accusations are more than enough for a solid lawsuit. I said, I'm begging you, please, I'll even crowdfund for you. Whoa, this is, wait, what? What do you think that you're showing evidence of exactly? Let's do it.
She thinks you're...
Pause it. This is Better Call Saul, just FYI.
Well,
You didn't get
What is this top-notch editing that she's doing here?
I don't know what point she's trying to make.
She's implying that you unironically are defaming him. Like you're saying, like she doesn't understand the sarcasm
God,
of what you're saying.
so dumb. The joke is that I'm so confident I'm not defaming him.
Right.
Because, listen, with peace and love, and I don't know all the knowledge that lives in your mind. Although, based on this video so far, it's not a lot. But I will say this. I probably know more about defamation law than you. The joke was that I'm so confident that if he sued me for defamation, not only would he lose immediately, he would definitely be ordered to pay my attorney's fees. Because it's such a dumb lawsuit. That's the joke. You moron, you imbecile. You zygote. That's the thing, right? Like, it's like a one-cell organism.
Zygote is like part of like...
What's a zygote?
It's a diploid cell resulting from the fusion of two haploid.
You diploid cell moron.
No, it's that's what I didn't want to speak out of turn. It's like a fertilized egg.
Because that's how inhuman. She's barely developed. She's not even a developed egg. Her mind is so mushy and empty and devoid. You know what I mean?
Got it.
Like the zygotes.
Or the zygotes. Golly.
Going back to ContraPoints for a moment. ContraPoints absolutely knows what she's doing and is being in.
First of all, you cannot go after the queen ContraPoints. That's a losing battle every time.
Don't do that.
That's a fattest L you can imagine. She was on Twitter, and Natalie ContraPoints came out and dunked on her, dude. Actually, here's her tweet about it.
Yeah.
They brought up, I think Vosh was maybe the first one to bring it up. Where he's like, is he doing this because I have lots of trans people? I was like, what the fuck? So Natalie, friend of the show, ContraPoints, she says, using bogus transphobia accusations to defend a cis man's public consumption of sexually explicit childlike images is unbelievably harmful and egregious. That's all I'm going to say about this. Yes, the video is coming. Ooh. I mean, listen.
Not the video about this, just to be clear.
Oh,
I saw people getting excited about that. Those are two different clauses in that tweet.
Listen, ContraPoints has spoken. And unlike Keffels, she is extremely intelligent. She comes from academia. She's like very deliberate and thorough with her research. She's a phenomenal talent. And then on the other side, you have Keffels. The bouncing dog plushie. Go on, girlie. Let's hear you out.
Intentionally malicious. By lying and saying that I am defending someone's consumption of childlike sexual images and calling.
How are you not?
Yeah, how are you not? That's the whole conversation.
How are you not? Well, hold on. What is it that I'm gonna pull up something from the last episode now? She goes, oh yeah, what was the initial tweet where she goes, I'm unbelievably disappointed in Ethan. You keep going, he's taken out of context. Motherfucker, he literally went on stream and said, I watch Lolly. Here's a Lolly in my porn folder. It's Lolly. It's drawn by a Lolly artist. What the fuck? How can I take that out of context?
We've all jerked at the Lolly at some point or another.
We have not. And Keffels, maybe you have. I don't know. I don't think it's far reaching or a reach to assume that you may have based on the way that you're defending.
Some of these girls looked pretty young. Okay.
play that whole thing to get because it's unreal.
I have it chopped up. I don't have the full clip, but I just took the two.
We've all jerked it to Wally. Some of these girls look pretty young.
Okay, are you finding it, AB?
Yeah, my Reddit's not loading for some reason. I think I have it, but
I'll continue
let me try
until
another browser.
then.
Calling me harmful to the trans community, she, a significantly larger creator, basically gave the signal to everyone to dismiss all of my criticisms and in fact to escalate the harassment even further. The worst part about all of this—
Wait, so because she's a bigger community, she can't comment on this topic?
Yes.
Like, you insert yourself to the conversation, and then if somebody answers, you cry.
100% what's happening.
I don't understand.
100%.
Do you want to be, like, acknowledged, or do you want us to just ignore you? We can. We can.
I'm engaging with your arguments. You know what I mean? Like, you stepped into the arena, so let's duel. And to use the gladiator analogy. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna give you one of these too. Emperor Dingus says, "Ish, don't think so." Here is her tweet, and her and Tips are teaming up. I'm disappointed in H3 Productions. You had me on your show and called me a hero for fighting against a far-right stalking forum. Again, that's dumb. Dumb.
Just saying.
Stalking forum that made multiple people kill themselves. Now you are using out-of-context clips sourced from the same website to attack people. Do better, Ethan. Sounds like you're defending Bosch. It sounds like you're saying the stuff he was caught looking at is not child CP or non-CP. She's quote tweeting Tipster, who said, "Genuinely disappointed seeing what H3 did to Bosch. You think after everything the song..." I'm not gonna read this. This is dumb. God, they're dumb. I didn't realize. Are they morons or are they just like bad faith, to use the played out, the most played out term ever?
Let's just keep going on the timestamps here, and I think the answer is going to become very clear by the end of this video.
All right, so this is, we've seen this part, I guess.
So let's go back to that first timestamp, because that's where she establishes how you insinuate they're pedos, and then that's what she relates to the Tony situation.
All right, let's go ahead. Yeah, show what I said.
I think that people need to be careful about false allegations of pedophilia. And in fact, this was something that Ethan...
I saw this, but she didn't show what I said, did she?
She did, yeah. That's the wrong timestamp.
So it's back, I guess, no?
Yeah, she's back.
Klein decided to call me a pedophile. If you want a pretty clear example of how Ethan's rhetoric has... about how terrible of a person I am based off of no substantive evidence. In 2022, when I sent this text message, I was relentlessly being called a groomer and a pedophile by conservatives due to my work advocating...
Yeah, that's fucked up, especially because they didn't have any evidence at all, and it's just straight up transphobia. But then...
But this is not anything that we did.
It had nothing to do with me. I didn't mention anything about trans people.
It's not part of the conversation at all.
If people are calling you a pedophile, which I don't know if you are or not, I just know you're defending Bosch. It's probably because you're defending Bosch, which is fact-based.
Well, this was before that.
I'm not talking about this.
Okay.
This shit's
Just making
transphobic.
sure that we're not combining the
This
two.
is horrible. I fucking despise this line that LGBTQ people are grooming children. It's vile. It's absolutely the worst thing. One of the worst, social conceits that I can think of right now.
Transgender youth. The fact that false allegations...
Especially because the real groomers is like the church. I've gone on this ad nauseum, but I've gone on this gymnasium.
At the Joker Church.
Pedophilia, in order to discredit me, came up so frequently. Journalists have actually written about it before. This situation only got worse when ContraPoints decided to call me out directly on Twitter, followed by blocking me despite me never publicly interacting.
Yeah, well, you're probably because you're dumb and
not
worth
talking to.
Block you if she wants.
Probably because you're dumb and annoying.
Yeah.
Which is why I block.
Probably it. Yeah.
Acting with her throughout this controversy.
Show me your block list. Let's see. Let me look through there.
Whatsoever. I want to choose my words carefully here and dissect how
You want to choose your words carefully? All right.
disingenuous and outright malicious ContraPoints is being here.
Maybe do you find the link you wanted me to watch?
It's at 110.
I'm waiting for AB to send me the timestamp.
I just found it.
Here, okay, thank you.
Coverage of all of this.
I hate to say it, but two people that we are somewhat friendly on the show, Tipster and Keffels, have sacrificed themselves to Lolly Hill.
Not only did Ethan imply both of us are pedo.
I did not see that in that clip. They sacrificed themselves to Lolly Hill. When did I call them a pedophile? That's her evidence?
Pedophiles, but any of the thousands of people who were defending Bosch were also pedophiles. It was really gross and a completely irresponsible use of his platform.
I thought it was great. I'm right, you're wrong. Look at my thumbnail. That's me. You guys are the demons. I'm the archangel, bathed in light. Descending from heaven upon a cloud.
Show the picture.
A peeling mist. Here I am. Here you are, cowering in the light. I have been sent from the heavens to spread this very controversial message. CP bad.
Wow.
All listen before me now.
God, dude.
CP bad. I mean, it's pretty easy to find out which side who's on, you know?
Show us.
Come on, it's Howie.
Show us child pornography.
No, Howie.
Don't show him.
That's exactly against what I've been saying.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
But you're a pro. You'll bounce back.
Go ahead.
I pitched it down because I thought it'd be more appropriate for the music.
Or demonic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Responded to people upset over being falsely accused of being pedophiles by mocking the word pedo-jacketing.
Also, what the fuck is
that is
pedo?
dumb.
And again, I'll say it, if the jacket fits.
But
Cannot acquit, is what you said.
Yeah.
wait, so as finding the term funny is a problem?
This is me debating Keffels right now.
Can we just do our show?
And by the way, she's thinking like she's gonna spin this into like some social issue that I'm being like racist or transphobic or something.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like, he's saying God hates trans people. I'll tell you that God hates people that consume animated CP. He hates them. He hates them.
He hates them.
He hates them because he hates them.
That God. That old God.
I know, man. Trust me. Yeah. So is that it, Amy? Why do you guys have such weird ass expressions for everything? So wait, her evidence that I called her a pedophile?
That was it? The lolly hill?
Yeah, and then there's the comments you make about pedo jacking after that, but...
I want to make sure that I respond in full to this.
Yeah, you can play it from right here then.
Yeah. And how often are you being accused of being a pedo that you need a nickname for it? If the jacket fits, you must not acquit. And then here, this is, again, not a real photograph. Cam sent this. And this is not real. He is not actually wearing this. But is this a pedo jacket? I don't know.
But then came up with a...
Quite literally, you cut off the bottom where it says, this is not a real photo,
But you
obviously.
still say it in the video like 5 times.
Yeah.
You say this
It's
is not
a joke.
real
This is a
photo.
joke. It's not a real photo. Vosh did not walk around in a varsity jacket that says pedo. Just to be clear. He did, however, consume animated child pornography. That's a fact. Those are undisputed facts of this case.
Yeah.
And this is not real. He is not actually wearing this. But is this a pedo jacket? I don't know.
But then came up with the stupidest nickname imaginable in order to call all of his detractors pedophiles.
I had a little bit of a you're about to make me look good and funny. Loss of innocence, and I mean that. It sounds silly, but I'm being somewhat serious when I say that because I did not know that there were so many people that were like CP adjacent. Lollipops, I'm calling them now. Bosch and the Lollipops. Bosch and the Lollipop Guild. girl, but she's using the Mudahar reaction, but he's literally talking about how she's.
Yeah, Mudah is not on your side. Of this one.
Why would you show Mudahar laughing? And he's obviously laughing at how funny my joke is and how true it is.
Mudahar.
What?
Mudahar?
So in response to everything that happened, I rightfully got pretty mad.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's it?
Talk about defamation. Excuse me.
You have a face-off with Muda?
Muda? Oh, this is where she accused me of transphobia. I don't know if we ever showed this. We did, okay. We showed this, so then whatever. All right, thank you.
This person said, I'm late, but Shetty also did Vanessa Hudgens' wedding.
Yes, he did. That I know.
Wow.
Because he's all about love.
No, he's not. He's a phony fucking. He plays the game harder than anybody.
Shetty is a beautiful name.
Look, Scott Stapp follows Jay Shetty.
That's a problem.
He follows him.
We're gonna have to talk to him about that.
I think I've gone over the light side, dude.
Stay away from the Shetty
I think
light.
Shetty, he's misunderstood.
So she continues to claim that we took Vosh out of context, which is just so laughably silly at this point. Go ahead.
Presenting his audience clips from Vosh's streams that deliberately cut out very important context. For instance, this is a clip that Ethan Klein played on his show to prove that Vosh is a pedophile.
Here's
Funny pot in our own chat.
It's funny because people go, oh, he's taking.
I got one of like 1,000, but go on.
Out of context, but listen what he says.
Yes, 100%. Listen very carefully to the exact language that I use.
Listen very carefully as I express myself articulately and clearly as I possibly can.
I've yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal.
That was pretty bad, right? Here's what was said.
Oh, she is really dumb.
Yep.
Yep. How are you real, man? So the only reason people will come in like this, it's like, I'm not going to make an accusation, but I will say that they're probably would not want their hard drive to fall into the wrong hands. And not because there's crypto on it. Could be that there's crypto on it.
Yeah, you probably...
She then plays his video for context.
Yeah, let's see what's the context.
Yeah, watch.
Watch him.
Immediately after that clip was played, which was not shown on Ethan's stream.
Wrong stuff. It should be 100% legal. In fact, and this is going to be a real hot take, I have yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal. Actual child pornography. How's that for a hot fucking take? Now, to clarify on this take, as I feel it necessary to do so, we do not, in this country, typically criminalize people who have procured media or resources which were the product of abuse. It is not illegal to own necklaces that have slave diamonds or whatever. What are they called? Or blood diamonds? Yeah, all of our clothes produced by sweatshops, our computers with silicon and lithium mined from literal fucking slaves. In our society, we have already deemed that people are not responsible for the mechanisms by which the media they consume and the content they engage with are produced. No.
Posh yelled at chat for 57 seconds.
Right now.
I mean, I don't know how many times we can
We did talk about this context, though.
Why don't you just open up the next timestamp?
Oh no.
So if you go to what we actually showed, so she was showing his VOD basically for his clip.
Yeah.
We not only showed that, we showed him explaining it after he got shit.
We gave him
we gave him more content.
benefit of the doubt.
We gave him a second try to explain it.
Talked about it at length.
All right, Kepo, so who's lying? Let's watch. And again, I don't know how many times we need to we know the argument.
We get it.
We know.
Capitalism
it's
bad. We get it. We
Yeah,
get it.
we
We get it.
talked about
It's
it.
bad. It's bad. It's horrible.
We discussed it.
A
we did.
bajillion times.
Yeah.
We love these things. Now, this is a timestamp to our podcast.
Yeah, go ahead. Justify. Explain.
A zinger, isn't it? I have yet to hear one convincing argument. Yeah, I saw Hyena. I have yet to hear one convincing argument for why child pornography should be illegal. I know. Oof. Now, what the context that's missing here is that when I was saying that, I was saying in the world we